Thank you so much for tuning into the Motion Boardshop podcast. I'm Nate, here with the most amazing producer we could ever ask for, Kyle, and our guest, Rayne Daley.
That's me.
Yes, this is you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, you are this is the best way that I could describe it. Some people think that I'm cool, but I think that you're cool.
Wow.
I think that you're cool. So their coolness
I'm
for
you just
me.
let your ego take that hit, Nate.
I've known you for so long. It's been over a decade. I don't know if you remember how we met.
Of course.
Okay.
I think,
How'd we meet?
yeah, I mean,
We met through the internet.
northwestlongboarding.com.
Yeah.
Shout out Shane Dono.
Yeah, R.I.P.
And yeah, RIP for real. Yeah.
No, Shane's still alive, just in case anyone's
yeah.
wondering. He's doing cool stuff.
The
He
website is dead.
yeah, Shane's alive. He's
alive
like
and well.
he's like I can still skate, but what he's really into is stand-up paddleboarding down rivers.
Like, really into it.
Yeah, like and doing like down. He definitely was like, oh, I can't hurt myself doing this anymore. Like, I can fall as hard as I want into water. So let's see how gnarly we can get over
And
there.
it gets gnarly.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Makes me want to do it.
So
But
we
yeah,
met through a super sketchy website.
Yep.
As young kids do, because I think you were probably like,
I got into a lot of sketchy situations through northwestlongboarding.com, which I'm sure we'll get into.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I know that, I don't know, I posted up on there about just like skating. I don't know how that, ended up with you picking up me from my high school, you driving up.
I left from my high school to go pick you up at your high school, they were super close.
Exactly.
And I believe we also picked up Andrew at the same time, and we went and skated a hill that we called Cemetery because it went through a cemetery.
It was like a left bend and a right.
Yeah, other way around. Big right bend
and then the left.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, very cool.
Classic.
You had a really nice board at the time. Do you remember what top mount it was?
Oh, Sector 9 Bomb Hills.
Oh yeah,
That's the baby that got me started.
oh yeah. Remember when wheelbases used to be 30 inches on top mounts and
Dude, I think
everything was good?
Over 30 inches, I think. Mm-hmm. I think that board was like
46. No, it was like 46. It was hefty.
It was a big boy.
It wouldn't fit in today's modern trunks.
No.
Yeah, my board is 40 and a half inches, and it's like a tight fit for a lot of people's.
Yours is 40 and a half? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean.
It has to have a 30-inch wheelbase.
Wow.
I'm a coward.
Well, I'm just like, that really puts into perspective of how big the Bomb Hills was.
Yeah, it's a lot of lasagna.
Yeah.
Which seemed appropriate at the time because there were a lot of other boards that were super long.
Carbs.
Yeah, would you like that?
Oh, that's a cool sound.
Yeah, the mics resonate through the.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to try it with the. Oh, Danger Bay 7.
Yeah, man. This is for my first race.
Oh wow, I'm so glad you've got that.
Yeah.
But you've got to
this is like one
hold
of
that up to
few
the camera.
Sentimental things in my life.
Probably a little closer
DB7.
to your face. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's
DB7,
super.
2008.
2008. That's right. That's the year I graduated high school, and you were like younger than me, and you had a demon seed, and you went and skated.
Yeah.
In Danger Bay.
Oh my God. Yeah, demon seed.
You definitely had a demon seed because I remember you being like hyped up. You're like, dude, I got a demon seed. Like Danger Bay is about
watch
to be
me
mine.
slide straight into the hay bales because I don't know what the fucking drop board is. Yeah.
But you were also into pushing really far at that time too.
Right. I was doing the long distance pushes.
Mm-hmm. That moment of silence brought to you by Sierra Nevada Brewing.
Taste of freshness.
That pale ale is good, but I know you're a fan of hoppy beers and more unadulterated beers, but you've got to also try this wild little thing.
Oh, I will.
It's dainty. No, Kyle.
Okay.
Every time.
Dude, okay. So all
Just
the
never
things
gets
that
old.
northwestlongboarding.com brought, I was able to get to Danger Bay 7 because of that website.
Wow. Who'd you go with?
Dude, I posted up on some thread. I think I created one about it. And what's his name? The guy who made butter dish longboards. Do you remember them?
No.
Butter dish. I'm pretty sure that's what they were called.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was just like a pretty random dude, to me at least. My mom let me go with him. Like, I think I was.
Wow.
I just literally let me skip like about a week of high school instruction to drive with a stranger up to Canada and
Through
go
the
to
border.
Danger Bay 7. And I didn't know anyone, dude. I was like, what, 17 or something like that?
Yeah, and you've always been like a very nice, innocent boy as a young kid. Like you were
I was
very,
just a boy.
yeah, you were very innocent for a long time. I know that like my group of friends, I was the innocent good boy among my group of friends.
Really?
But
wow.
let me
Things
list
change.
them off: Dave, Logan, Eric, Spencer Newman,
Jordan Myers.
Jordan Myers.
Yeah, that's like the core. Oh, yeah, Jake Hansen.
Yeah, Jake Hansen.
Jake Hansen.
Those are some like of the original people that I was like skating with.
Trevor
and out
Preston,
of
too.
Trevor Preston, yeah, can't forget Trevor Preston. I guess Trevor would be the more squeaky clean in our group than
True. Yeah.
me. He actually went on to accomplish good things in college.
Yeah, he gets paid money now.
Don't we
You know
all?
what that's like.
Yeah. So we have been riding longboards for a really long time. One of the things that I wanted to bring up on the podcast is our never-ending battle of who can crash worse in front of the other person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, we both have some good moments.
Some highlight moments of just
really showing each other how it's done.
yeah,
At high speeds. Yeah, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, I'll never forget. Like, literally, I could see the facial expression as you, like, turn. Dude, as you just ate shit past me on Shoreview. I think on one of your podcasts, you had a video of it, right? And
Of
you were
the
talking
road.
about-
I have
you
a
were
video
talking
of the
about how
road.
you fell on that road.
Yeah.
But yeah, you literally passed me on my left, like around the outside of a sweeper, like standing up. I was like, whoa, Nate, you shouldn't be passing me like that, dude. And immediately you just like turtle shell into a sign. And I just, I just remember your face, like, you're not having a good time. Oh, man. And then, of course, I had to do the honors for you and Alphatal.
wait. Well, let's go into that a little bit more. Can you pull up a video, Kyle? I want to explain the road.
Of course.
Morgan Owens, and I believe it's called Riot Trial. Open a new window because there's some.
Oh, yeah. You got a video of that hill.
I got a video of that hill.
play the-
So I'll give you a rough rundown of what happened, and Rayne can give you a rough because I may
confirm it.
remember it a little bit differently because I ate the biggest pile of shit at 45 miles an hour and crashed in a helmet that I'd spray painted 5 times. So like,
Was that the gold one?
no, that was the red one that had the like green dots on it,
Oh, yeah.
and then I
right.
wore it for like another couple months. Yeah, that one.
Like one does, you know?
I mean,
It's
obviously,
not broken in half, so you're still good.
yeah, I was like, damn, we good. Yeah. So this hill's really fast. I was riding a Demon Seed with a broken front nose and some Randall trucks and some Jimsy bushings. The story gets brought up a lot. Oh God, Morgan's just eating shit for the opener.
Nice.
Yeah, that's super fun. So Kyle, I'm gonna ask you at some point to get ready to pause. Yeah. Press pause.
yeah.
So like this is the
Right
hill.
about there.
This is a super fast hill. Like RIP. Someone's Elijah Sapita
yeah.
died on this hill,
Yeah.
which is super unfortunate. But so if you press play right now, like you're going super fast. Rayne's in front of me.
Yeah.
And he's standing
so
up.
I'm like about where Morgan's at right there.
Press
Nate,
pause.
Right. Like right before where Morgan's at. Nate's like passing
Passing
me on the outside, standing up. Just like, so concerned about what was about to happen.
Yep, that'll happen. Can you get rid of that little box, Kyle?
Oh, I'm on the wrong laptop.
No.
Yeah, you're trying your hardest on the wrong laptop to get rid of that box. That's super fun. So yeah, essentially I passed you on the outside, basketball shorts and a t-shirt.
Of course.
Of course. Ate shit. Like I didn't like, so imagine like I'm regular like Morgan is. So I like speed wobbled and the board went right. So I fell kind of backwards onto my back. And then if you press play, and then I'm going to ask you to press stop again, press stop, boop. So you see how there's this driveway. I kind of was like on my back at this point.
You were exclusively on your back. Like, you didn't tumble at all. You were just like, I'm just going to stay here. Burn off a few extra layers of my flesh.
This is my home
Here,
now. Yeah.
I'm just going to live here for a little bit. and let this sign.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know what to do. I'd never crashed at that speed, and I'd never crashed onto my back at that speed.
That'll learn you up real quick.
Dude, I don't know what you do. Do you like flip out of it? I think the real thing is you just don't crash onto your back ever.
Yeah. Ideally, you'd be on the other side with your hands and feet.
With the protection parts.
You got to learn one way or the other.
You gonna learn today.
At least you didn't tumble and like break your bones and shit,
I mean, that's happened. And then press play and then get ready to stop it again. To stop.
Well, that's the most friendly sign in the world.
Yeah, so see that sign on the right-hand side of the road? So I had started tumbling by this point, and I ended up wrapping my body around that sign.
You made it a ways.
Real comfy.
Dude, you made it.
Buddy, we're going like 45 miles an
And
hour.
I'm just watching it all happen.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
got like, I
no.
passed Rayne and then gave like probably a good 25 feet and then just like assassinated myself. It was so good.
Sure of you. What a like randomly gnarly little hill.
Yeah.
And we ran an outlaw race on that hill.
Yeah, I did not compete in that. When you guys told me we were
idea.
racing, I was just like, that is the dumbest hill to have an outlaw on.
For
It's
real.
so fast. Like,
And it's,
like,
like,
press
not
play just to talk about the rest of the hill
Cross
being
traffic.
like, so Morgan is hauling the fucking entire grocery list on this road. Like, can you imagine running 4 people heats down this downhill, like single lane road with cars? And then like, look at this is the final turn. Like, my gripping and ripping.
Dude, I don't know how people didn't just die left and right when we were doing that.
Yeah. Man, a simpler time, 2009.
Indeed.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a video of that race. Shoreline Outlaw.
Gosh,
Something
what a
two?
terrifying
Shoreline Outlaw 2 or something.
what a terrifying way to conduct business.
Truly.
Yeah.
We got real creative with the hills back then.
Yeah. That
That was the race where we like hopped around as a group to all the different race hills.
that's super fun. I think that should definitely be done again.
Oh yeah.
Is have like this is super stupid. I can't believe I'm going to say this right now. But like you just have like 2 vans filled with like 5 skaters each, and then you just like go from like each hill. You just do like 1 or 2 runs down them, and then you go back like a couple hours later, and then you like just on-site them and race them.
So like, does that function as like the practice runs and then the races?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, or just like just as far as like
What hills though are you going to be on-sighting?
the good ones.
Good ones.
A lot of the ones in LFP, like some of the ones that you'd be like
classics.
like the
Jeff's?
classics. Yeah, you just like Jeff's, the one that you ate the fucking Dickens on going to the shop one day. You crashed on that 5 mile board.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you got
so bad.
you got bucked. That
Oh my god. That was bad. That was like, I hit that scar at the bottom and just wrecked myself so bad. I almost like passed out twice going
with
on my
like
way to the
with like
motion board shop.
with a
after that.
backpack on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like shorts and a t-shirt, half shell backpack, and just 45 tumbled.
Yeah, slapped
That's
your
when
body.
I opened this up for the first time. And then I did it like 2 more times, all in Lake Forest Park.
Yeah, there's some super good hills over there that like, I mean, what a great place to learn to skate, and like the fact that we didn't get more in trouble more often. Like, I don't know if you remember when we used to skate S-turn.
Of course, yeah.
For like
we would session
hours,
it for literal hours.
with like 7, 12 people. And then,
yeah. And then someone would call the cops and we're like, what?
we'd
What?
yell
It's cool.
We'd yell at people like a group of like.
we would literally like hide in their yards and be like, you assholes. And like, and wonder why we were getting in
Do you
trouble.
remember when we used like the person at the house just had that trampoline, so we'd go jump on their trampoline when
exactly.
they weren't there and then go skate the hill?
At the top, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just like random people's houses you don't know and be like, they got a trampoline.
I'm saying
Like,
it.
Everybody's gonna get a sesh on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so
Did
fun.
what we wanted, I guess.
Now I can't. I don't think you could get away with it the same way.
No way. Well,
No.
we're also men. I don't think it'd be
I mean, you still have a little bit of your boyish charm, but I'm going.
I shaved today, so it's looking young. But yeah, S-turns I don't think would go as well today.
Yeah,
Skating at 5 to 10 men deep
all day. Yeah, for hours.
especially Jeff's.
Yeah.
That wouldn't go nearly as well today.
No, there's different people that live on those hills now. Yeah, that was so. Then, yeah, we did that. How was your first Danger Bay?
It was interesting. I mean, like I said, I was like, I literally didn't know anyone. I don't know. Well, I just didn't plan. All I knew was I wanted to go to Danger Bay, wanted to hit it as my first race. It was fun. Fortunately, Spencer Smith was up there. Spencer Smith, who
Which one? There were 3 of them.
right, who was on Rayne.
Okay.
Rayne longboards.
Yep.
So he was there with his mom, and like I met up with them, which was great to see a familiar face. So that, and then they actually gave me a ride back after the race. But it was cool. I had like a motorcycle helmet that I got for Danger Bay 7. So like big old bowling ball helmet, full face, and like a, NJK custom leathers weren't much of a thing back then. So I had like eBay leathers that actually fit me pretty decently. Mm-hmm. And
definitely
my
decent.
demon seed.
Definitely decently enough to go into the hay bales,
And
right?
just crash. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I remember my race heat, and that was cool. I mean, I think I was like racing with like Andrew Chapman and all these people where I was like, oh, sweet. And then I went through Carnage Corner and smacked straight into the hay bales because I just did not know how to skate a drop board at all. It was dropped and drop through, so minimal traction.
As one does. And
Yeah.
at that time in
right.
skating, like
It was
that
pretty
was
cool.
That was the meta.
So
You were doing a
stable.
great job.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe you could have.
Probably with Randall twos or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe you could have been like a gangster boy and had like some Evo Smoky combo.
I know, right?
To really
be a real pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I smacked straight into the hay bales, and then I don't know who was behind me, but like I hit him, kind of twisted around, and they plowed straight into my face, like with their board. So thank the Lord I had that bowling ball ass motorcycle helmet because it like the visor got like torn off, and I was just like, oh shit. And then yeah, I was out of the race like first heat. So that's how your first race is going to go.
Yeah, pay $280 and go one and done.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And like, I don't know how it was done. I think you got like 1 or 2 practice runs at Danger Bay. I think that formatting has stayed consistent over the years.
Yeah,
Like
and you got to
couple
hike.
practice
And you got to
runs.
hike those
Yeah,
practice.
you got to
runs.
hack them. Yeah, there's a U-Haul that goes up, but like it's quicker to hike it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was fun. Did that, and then I went home.
What was it like being a young kid? Where'd you stay for Danger Bay?
I stayed at the campsite.
You camped. Okay,
At the
tell me
Danger
what
Bay
that was.
campsite.
That was like.
Well, I didn't understand how that worked at the time.
Wait, stop. You didn't understand what the Danger Bay campsite was going to be like.
No.
Okay.
I didn't. I just went in with no plan. Oh, dude. And that's when I met Kevin for the first time. I was like all star-eyed, like fanboying. And, he was probably pretty young at that point. I'm guessing in his like early 20s or something like that. Young Kev with a shaved head, pretty sure. And I went up to him all like, whoa, Kevin Raymer. Like awkwardly introduced myself. He was next to Brian Davies at the time. And I just like, hi. Like stood there just awkwardly and just walked away after that. But that was a cool memory. Thanks, Kevin. So the campsite though, I didn't know it was like divided by, there's the Canadian part, usually like the US part. There was like sections. I didn't understand that. So I like randomly.
I didn't know anything about these sections.
I think that's
I've been
like,
there a couple times, but this is
kinda
I also
how it
cheat.
worked.
Every time I go there, I've been there with like a group of Canadians for protection.
right.
And then I do the number
I
one
was
thing,
safe.
which is you set your tent up early. Okay, you got to make sure to set your tent up early. Then right as the night's getting started, you gotta mob your own tent. Like take it all down, make it look
Or
like it's
at
already
least-
been smashed.
Yeah, just take the tent poles out. at
Yeah,
least.
take the
Just
tent
make it
poles
look
out.
fucked.
Like, yeah, definitely do that so that like it already looks like your tent got mobbed.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to. And then you stay up all night, so you don't have to worry about it anyway. The real trick is you go to Danger Bay and just don't bring a tent. Just stay up for 3 days
Sleep.
straight.
Yeah, that's the
No,
trick.
no one can get you if you're always awake.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, maybe I still don't understand how the campsite works today, but I think
it's tamed. I think it's tamed down a lot.
way tamed down. Yeah, exactly. I think Wolf isn't there, so that helps.
I mean, he's probably there.
Yeah. But yeah, I just pitched a tent next to didn't know who they were at the time, but now I know. It was Tony Graves and like George McKenzie and
Tony Graves.
all
That was a
that-
name that we were looking for on a previous podcast. That's super
remember.
funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that little crew. I think Godspeed Longboards was like pretty big at that
Yep.
point. And what was that? Graham? you know, I think he rode for Godspeed or was behind the design of Godspeed. I don't know. I really don't know. But he was there. I met him in the ferry line. He's a super nice guy. But yeah, foggy memories. You know,
As you're a 17-year-old going to an event in the middle of
Exactly.
Canada. And then so like when you were at the event, what did you end up encountering? Was it pretty wild? I mean, what did you think it was going to be?
dude, I don't know what I was expecting or if I had any expectations of Danger Bay. But it was cool. I mean, it was just like cool to be in that environment. That's like, you know, that's core coast stuff, you know. And like Bryson, he was doing his thing there.
He was
What
yelling
he
then.
says best hype man, you know, in the Western Hemisphere, just doing his thing. The cowbells were definitely a thing at that point. You know, like people used to like the little orange land
Yeah.
yachts cowbells. People would go crazy with those as riders went through the corners. That was kind of cool. But yeah, just in general, kind of a cool environment to be in, to experience as my young boy, 17-year-old.
Wow, you're really dodging the question. How gnarly was the campsite?
Dude, I literally, I mean, I wasn't like super a part of it, but you know, it was classic Danger Bay stuff. That was the first time I saw a tuna can get thrown into a fire. Raggy specifically, he came up and just was like, just like hung out it for a little bit, and then you saw him like slowly as time went on, he just backed away from the fire, and then Tony Graves was
Tuna kaboom, baby.
Tuna kaboom straight into Tony Graves' shin. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if you don't understand what we're talking about, there's a lot of fires. And so what you do is you come up, start talking to people, casually throw a can of tuna into the fire, and it'll heat up to a point where eventually it'll explode.
And just smell really hot and tuna, if you can believe it.
That's why it's called a tuna kaboom. You get it at face value. And it typically ruins someone's evening. Definitely.
That'll get you for sure.
Yeah, if you aren't wearing like some sort of poncho that you can get rid of, you're gonna
Or
be
just
bummed.
know when to back away from
Yeah.
the fire.
Yeah, tuna kaboom, super funny. Did you like? Was the mob a thing at that point?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
Describe the
Alive and
mob.
well. You know, I mean, it's kind of hard to decipher like my Danger Bay memories because they all kind of just blend together.
How many of them
over the
have you
years.
been to?
Dude, I don't even know. Like several. I don't know. Maybe 5-ish. 5 to something. 5 or 6 probably.
Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, the mob, alive and well.
Yeah, the mob. Scary as a foreign 17-year-old boy. Didn't know what was going on, but I just saw people like wrapping trees in saran wrap so that they like the unsuspecting stranger who would get clotheslined by it later would just be sad and lonely after they get clotheslined in by this invisible force. Yeah, and the porta potties, that was a more vivid memory. Lots of vomit.
Just all over the porta potties.
Just this row of porta potties, and you just open one and it's just destroyed with something. The next one's destroyed with the next thing. Gnarly, dude.
17 sweet-year-old Rayne.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've had some pretty. The mob, in case you're unaware, is when you go to Danger Bay, the event is really fun, but obviously the after hours, like community building part of the longboarding experience, essentially what your $270 entry fee really goes for,
Yeah.
is
The flower and
is
the leaf blowers.
is the community building that
Yeah.
gets done there, and essentially it's just a very like, as there are a few events that I've been to that have like really that kind of angsty vibe, and like there's like 300 plus people camping, and like obviously throughout the evening people are drinking, and it gets to a point where it's like 5 a.m. and the mob, the group of people that's still awake, either runs out of beer, or the fire goes out, or the music cuts out, and they have nothing to do. And if the mob doesn't have something to fixate on, they become restless and meander and maraud. And that's when tent stakes get pulled, outside beer gets stolen. But there's also something to remember. If like the mob comes through your town of tents, you can always pay the mob. So if you have some beers, you can be like, "Hey guys, here's some beers. Leave me alone."
Make your offering. And
Yeah,
keep
make your
pace.
offering to the mob, and it's a very effective community building event time, can be a little scary if you're trying to sleep at Danger Bay, but I mean, you paid the entry fee. You may as well enjoy your entire time there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna try to sleep, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be cranky. Just don't do that.
Yeah. Sleep during the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the real trick. Go to like, because Danger Bay is super in the morning. The free ride is also super in the morning.
Super early. Yeah.
And so like you just stay up all night, do the events in the morning, and then like go down to the like river, ocean, and just sleep there for multiple hours. And then come back to the campsite, showered, clean,
yeah.
hydrated,
Yeah.
ready,
Hopefully.
ready to take on the evening. And there's some super cool bands that play. I don't know if you were.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fun to like.
Loose Tooth was definitely a thing.
Very cool to go to a campsite where like that's half the fun. Like I've always said like Maryhill's really cool because there's like a designated campsite where like kind of a lot of people go, and I would love to get it back to the point where everyone went to the campsite because I think that
it's such a good time when like all the racers are there and not spread around everywhere.
Yeah. If you want to race, you're not allowed to sleep in a hotel.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You have to stay at the campsite.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, yeah, and I mean it was usually included. Like you didn't have to pay for any extra camping costs or hotel costs. It was all provided. It's a package deal.
that's what I'm talking about. I love that idea. But I mean, this is just me. I just like hanging out with people.
Yeah.
Which is kind of why this podcast got started. So we're going to talk about one of my favorite times in our battle, you crashing in front of me.
Alpental, right?
Alpental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think all your shit just got jacked.
No, I think I was literally like trying out someone else's board.
No, I think, I mean, do you know the board?
Oh, the one that got stolen.
Yeah, your board got stolen.
Maryhill.
Yeah, so your board got stolen at Maryhill.
Dude, oh my God. That was such a bummer. That was a 5-mile board, but the biggest bummer was it had the Nimbus trucks on it.
Mm-hmm.
The 184s. It was like 5 sets of them or something like that floating around out there. And I had one of those sets and I really like those trucks. I think that was like my first pair of Precisions.
Yep.
So sad, dude. I don't know where that board went. Never got recovered. But yeah, that was sad.
It's
But
in
anyway,
Goldendale right now. It's probably in a pawn shop.
Right. Sitting there, just never to be found or ridden again. R.I.P.
Yeah, you hate to hear it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I was right. I don't know what I was right when I crashed.
Yeah, your shit just, I remember it because it was a brand new everything. Like you were literally riding someone else's shit. Someone had a Raptor.
I think it was a Tim. Dude, what was his last
I know what you're talking about.
The guy who used to like ride around 5-mile guys. I can't remember his name.
Yep.
Great guy.
Yeah, I want to. He had a truck.
Yep.
Yep. And so he had like an F-22 Raptor, and he had Nimbus trucks as well, but they were the super wide ones, the like 194s.
And they were like, there was like dead space in them.
And they and he had like super soft bushings because he was like really light.
He was a free. He would do a
He
lot
would
of
do
sliding.
180s. Yeah. And I remember you being like, yo, it's pretty much my setup. Like I can bomb on Alpental. It's like
Pretty much,
click,
except
click play
the
on this
most
video.
critical part.
I mean, you did everything you needed to do except for that one part that is arguably the spookiest.
Well, yeah, and I was going into it with just as much confidence as I normally would.
Okay, I'm sorry for the saturation. This is how I used to film. In case you don't know, I didn't know anything about anything.
Signature Nate Blackburn videos.
This board is so sweet, the Phantom. So this is Rayne. This is a raw run before I think even raw runs were a thing because this is in like 2010,
Dude, I don't even remember.
2011 or something.
And oh yeah, this is when you mounted the thing on the top of your car rather than the hood.
Yeah, this is
It's got
because I didn't
bird's eye
know.
view.
I didn't know how to get the suction cup meta wasn't around. Like I was
Yeah.
just like, man, how do I point the camera forward and use the car? And look how far back I am for safety's sake. But like, nowadays it's just like, yeah, hit me in the ass.
right.
Let's do
Go
it.
ahead.
So
Give
I essentially
me a bump.
I essentially put the camera on the tripod and then got it stuck and then put it into my snowboard rack and locked my snowboard rack and we were good to
that's
go.
How you did it.
Yeah, it was super legit. So at this part of the road, as you can see, Rayne's hauling ass. You can't really tell because you're not used to seeing it from this angle, but it's about 45, 50 miles an hour, especially when you're bombing it with like 7, 8 people. And right around here, I'm going to go right about there. Rayne speed wobbles off of his board in front of
Just
me.
belly flops.
I didn't know about auto ISO correct. I'm super sorry. It kind of gets dark there, but oh well. But this is a run of Rayne actually skating all the way to the bottom. But yeah, you speed wobbled in front of me and like definitely went into like 360 mode. I remember you went to one side of the road,
My
and your board
like,
went to the
stopped
other
horizontally for everyone
yeah.
to ride around.
And then I was right behind you, and I remember not dying and just being like, "That was savage!" Like, yes.
I don't think anyone else fell. Fortunately,
No. It was one of those nice ones. What a
but
beautiful
I'm just
corner.
carving it up.
Yep. That's always been something that I would say you can tuck really well, which has been very beneficial because you've gone to a lot of races and you can tuck for a long time. And then you haven't skated in so long. But like, I think that like you did a really good job when you were skating all the time. Oh yeah.
I was like looking to see if there were cars coming in. Hello.
Yep. And then I fall behind because I'm like, yo, sketch.
Perpetual wet spot on the inside of that turn.
We don't know why, but it just is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, this is such a fun road. I remember this is crazy because you can't skate this road anymore because it's a one-way uphill. But do you remember for a while people were skating it and they were like, yeah, dude, we show up at like 5 a.m. and we skate till 8 a.m. And then it's blown because it got written up as like one of the best places to go and hike to that waterfall. So the road's pretty much not skatable anymore.
Well, that was like the death before the real death.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the gunshot wound. And then what really got it was the hospital getting hit by a meteor, which was it being made a one-way uphill. But do you remember when we used to go here and we would show up at like 11 a.m. in the morning and not skate till like noon? But we would skate till like 7 or 8. Yeah, we would skate till 7 or 8 o'clock. There's a super cool river. We'd like soak our feet. Dude, it was
were the
best
days.
And we would skate it with like 10. And it was every Tuesday. It was every Tuesday.
Tuesdays or Thursdays or something like that.
I know that it was every Tuesday because that was my day off. And so I was like, hey, you guys, every Tuesday it's gonna be like on. And people would show up all the time. And it got to the point
force.
Yeah, and it got to the point where we were taking like 20, 30 person, or like maybe not 30, but like definitely a couple like 10 car days up at the top of the hill, and you're just like, okay, like looking around at a bunch of people, and you're like, everyone here's pretty good, but like, not everyone here is going to make it down to the bottom. Yeah. People with leather up, which is terrifying.
Dude, like Kyle Stopson.
Yep.
Jeremy Gear, Shane, Dennis.
Yep. Tad, of
course. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild to see.
Yeah, and of course, like all the Shoreline boys, Jake, Dave, EK.
Yeah,
those were good days.
What a goofy time to be alive.
I know.
What a great crash, though.
I know.
I really enjoyed watching you.
Do it right there.
Where's the other time that you've crashed in front of me? Or where's the other time I've crashed in front of you? I think I've also crashed big time in front of you on Alpental. I believe I wobbled off my board just past where you crashed.
Oh, and you went into the bushes, right? Like you didn't fall on the road first. You went like full commitment into the bushes.
Yeah, that's
a scary part.
That was a bummer. I was just like, dude, I'm speed wobbling. Like, I'm gonna try and ride this out, and it's like started going left, and I was like, oh, I'm speed wobbling, and like it just got to a point where I was like, I'm done. Like, and just rode into the bushes. The bushes are kind of thick, and they just kind of pushed me back into the road. But it was definitely like a shit whipping. Like I like caught one piece of my body, and then was like zzz, across the road. Oh, yeah, you don't want that. If you get an opportunity, you should just crash in the road and slide on your pucks.
Yeah.
Don't land on your back.
And did Alpental have like nettles on it? I feel like there were spots with nettles.
I don't know. Once you're covered in road rash, it's hard to care about the nettles.
Differentiate.
Yeah, you're like, I'm bleeding out of my belly button. Oh, is that a stinging nettle? Like, didn't really cross my mind. But yeah, there's definitely some stuff you don't want to run into. The pine cones are also super durable. I've definitely tumbled through pine cones, and you're just like, oh, I'm so fucked up.
And then there was always that turn, like after this point, that big left that always had that gravel, because there was that gravel like turnout. Yeah. People would always rip out of it and just like gravel all over the road.
Yeah. That's the good stuff, though.
The crunchy goodies.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last section that was actually pretty quick. Like if
you were
tucked
to bomb
into it,
all the
and then it was like, oh,
I definitely have blown up in that section.
Yeah, it gets hairy, especially because like there's always some people who are like, I'm not going to go very fast, and then there's people behind you who are like, I'm going fast, and all just
that last corner is like one of the more satisfying corners because you can like really go into it super fast,
into it.
And you get that speed tunnel effect, and the trees close in, and then you have that super blind left, which I'm gonna cut because I'm such a bad person. And
Like the most likely to have a car in
that
it.
was also a spot where I think I broke my ankle that day, or like I didn't break my ankle, but we were bombing into that last left. We were going through it, and right as we came around that corner, I was diving in, and there's a car like pulling out of that. You know how there's a parking lot right when you go through the blind corner? There's a parking lot on the right hand side. So on the exit of the corner, a car had pulled out to then go around the corner. So they were like dead in the middle.
Up the hill?
Yeah. So they were halfway in between the parking lot and the apex of the corner we were going through, but in the middle of the road. And as I was coming through, I just remember being like tucking into it and being like, dude, I had one line.
Yeah.
Like now there's like a car positioned in such a way where like I can't get inside of it and I can't go around it and make it. So I just like yeeted.
And there was that big kind of awkward sewer grate. Like you could
there's
go over pretty comfortably.
It's a
but,
square. It's like a square panel grate.
Wasn't
thing.
open, but it had like a really slippery texture.
Yeah, definitely. It was like diamond plated on top.
Yeah.
Like a great place to lose a conspicuous amount of traction.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, a little scary.
That's that good shit.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna queue up another video. Delete this one. Skating with people's fun.
Very fun, dude. Speaking of, that's a fun one.
No.
Speaking of great
No.
races
You can delete that last one.
with great music and great
That.
campsites. Oh, I remember being a little nervous on this road skating with Morgan.
This has the same terrible pavement that Diamond does.
Yeah.
Why were you nervous skating with Morgan?
I mean, Morgan's a great skater, but like, unless I'm really familiar with someone, I get a little nervous.
And Morgan's
And
really
Morgan's
good.
like-
Morgan's really, really good. And know that
and
he's
also,
down.
Like, our style's not. I mean, we both love going fast, but like, Morgan can stand up slide really fast. and
Morgan
I
can push.
can't.
Morgan can push the
can't.
apex way harder than you're willing to. Like you're down to carve a little bit and then go into it. Morgan is like, I'm gonna tuck straight into.
Well, and he's just a little harder to predict. Like, so to
He's way
compare him to
surfier.
Max, and he's also regular. So it's like skating with Morgan versus skating with Max Whipperman is like night and day for me because Max and I are both good. Look how scared I am.
You was nervous.
I was a little nervous, but
This road's also
skate with
not well paved.
Max, like we're both goofy. He's really predictable. We both skate pretty.
Oh yeah,
similarly.
and he's also skating an Evo, which can't turn. So
right.
like it's super obvious
But
when he's
here,
gonna do
like,
something.
I don't know what Morgan's gonna do. So
Morgan's on that
I was
wobbly,
skating pretty
wobbly.
Yeah, look at him, dude. It's scaring me.
He's nervous.
Yeah.
You're on Ronan's. He's on Paris's.
Right.
Probably.
I'll hook up. He'll keep going.
Yeah,
Hook up and high side.
dude, and he is surfing right now.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
You kind of look nervous. And then once you get in front of him, you start blasting. But you
Right.
start blasting in the danger section with the fucking guardrail in it. And I remember just, because I'm filming this, and I remember just being like, Rayne's timid. And Morgan's like, come on, catch up, buddy.
Yeah. He's like, I think at one point he's like, come on, man.
Yeah, you should have blasted past him at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna call
just
you out.
didn't-
But this is also like your second time skating the road, and the road's super rough and it's
Look at him,
very
he's
dangerous.
like trying to get me to pass. I'm like, no.
So then the guardrail
Yeah,
section
guardrail.
happens. And like, yo.
Oh, time ship gloves though. Can we get a shout out? I love those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this point, I'm like looking for a point to pass him. And
It's
I think he lets
so
me pass him.
nerve-wracking. Yeah. There's not really a good spot unless you're gonna like bang it through the corner and like really try and drift on someone.
Yeah.
But then we see Morgan, who pretty much only skates dangerous roads. Now he's behind you, like, yeah, surfs up, brother,
Yeah.
party wave. Like his keys are hanging out. He's got
Yeah,
so
the
much.
lanyard flopping around.
Yeah. Oh, this is that spawn he had that he cut super cool. He cut it like a big boat. I don't know if you remember that.
I don't know if. Oh my god!
the void.
What are you
Can you go?
doing?
Can you go back a little bit?
Yeah.
I don't think that people understand what just happened.
Morgan happened.
Yeah. So look at this. Through this corner, it's like, oh, he's gonna pass you. Oh, the void.
Yeah.
The straight void. Why would he do that? Why?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know, but he done it.
He gone done it.
And then this corner is super extreme, especially when you're behind him and you're like, oh man, I know he's got it, but he's also,
Yeah.
dude, that was
And I mean, at
such a
least
good.
We
oh.
stayed through it.
Yeah, go back again. I
was good.
need to pump both you boys up. I would not have done that. You guys are really close right here, and then like,
And then
ooh,
Really close right there.
man, he can toe side drift, but you really put yourself in there.
we're in
And then
the
this
Phoenix.
bottom section gets super These next couple corners are super fun, and then it just gets into like the leg burning part of the run.
Yeah, I do not. I mean, I remember skating this road, but I don't remember the whole sequence of it. Because yeah, we literally only skated this road. This was the one time I skated it.
No, you skated it twice.
Really?
Yeah, because I drove you guys to the top, and then I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to film down it?" And you're like,
Well, yeah, we took a couple runs, but like this was like the one time that we went out and like sessioned the road.
"Oh,
what I
yeah,
mean.
like we don't live anywhere near this road. This road's like 2.5 to 3 hours away from us." Yes,
Green Mountain area.
I believe it's
Oh,
called.
I love. This was a really fun corner though. Dip in.
Damn, that camera guy really got inside on that corner. That's weird. And then this part is just like where your legs are tired, the pavement's rough, and then it just goes into these like back and forth edge of grip sweepies. And like you like can't really stand through them, but you also can't really like grip. It's like tough to explain. You guys are like really moving through a couple of these and you're like, "Oh shit, like, we're slipping." But yeah, what a cool road. What a great place to go skate.
For real. Riding with Morgan. Was this around the time that the Boise race happened?
No, this
No?
is after that.
Okay.
This is a long time after that.
Really?
Because yeah, we didn't go back down to that area like that. We didn't go back down to this area in Washington for like a year after that Boise trip. If that makes sense. Because the Boise trip happened in like the end of summer. And then it was the next summer where we realized like, oh man, you know where's got some super good hills is this down south area.
Dude, yeah. They're so killer, but that pavement's a real soul crusher.
It's a buzz killer.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough. There are a couple roads that are paved really well, but man, like what is it? A Brandon Sapphire? Have you ever skated that?
I never got to skate that road.
What?
Yeah, it got like really hot and really blown before I got to skate it.
I mean, as it would.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen Morgan's Raw run down it, but it's
Probably.
He
Is that the
skates.
one right off I-5?
Yeah, sure.
No one
Nearby.
You're not gonna find it.
I mean, yeah, it's
Yeah. I remember like I've been to that road and I think we skated a portion
Morgan
of it,
Owens gold standard.
but we didn't skate the whole thing and like didn't do it justice the way we skated it. We were just like skating a little section by section. And I think there was some very angry resident at one point in the hill.
The guy at the bottom.
Yeah. Who like really had
just
to
freewheel. Should
had to
make
avoid
it
that
happen.
guy.
We filmed the night runs there.
At Brandon Sapphire?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Lower.
It's on an unreleased taste of video.
We're gonna sample one of these little fruity fellas.
Yeah, do it. Oh my goodness. If that run's gone, keep going.
Should I type in Sapphire?
There we go. Sapphire Raw Run. Oops, sorry.
Yeah,
that
we
took...
filmed this at night.
You filmed that at night?
Yeah,
How'd you know
early.
about this road?
I got friends who live like 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, sweet. It's definitely if you live near it and you're like looking at any sort of terrain map, you're like, holy shit,
Yeah.
those squigglies are in the right spot. So this is Morgan, obviously, doing the Morgan
What
thing.
a dope road though.
Yep. What a
Surfing, dude.
yeah, this road's so good.
Oh, tasty.
Right? Isn't that a delicious little
Yeah.
This is from like the top though, right?
yeah, this is from the top. This is from the like the gangster spot.
Morgan's all right.
Yeah, I hate to watch him skate and pump him up, but like, man, the dude can do it sometimes.
He's okay.
I wish he'd get back on a bigger board, but I mean, watching him skate the little board well too, it's like fine, whatever.
I'll just go ahead and take credit for how good of a racer he is. That's
How?
what the little lesson I taught him at Bogus Basin.
When you took him out?
Yeah, man. When you go too slow, you know, in front of me, I'm gonna let you know it. And that's what I had to do. I had to let him know.
What'd you do?
He was leading into a corner and he slowed down too much.
And so you knocked him off his
So
board.
I just, bucked him.
What'd you think about that heel side, toe side?
I can't do that.
Yeah. You like
so-
low angle heel side squatters where you like drag your backhand?
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. He can skate.
Well, yeah,
Quite.
it's nice that you beat him though.
Yeah, that's
You like took him out and then yeah.
At
you
least
could
I-
have
yeah.
just passed him, but instead you were like, nah. So this dude at the bottom, this house right there, boop, you can see that I turned to the right. That's because that's the dude that hates us.
really.
Yeah, but it's fine. We got the run. Can't do anything about that now.
Yeah. Bummer that I never really got to skate that road.
Yeah. It happens. See that video, just one left of there, called Downhill Longboarding? It's nice to have you on because we've traveled so much together
For real.
to go skating.
This was a fun trip.
This was a very spontaneous trip too.
Yeah. This was for Agenda, right?
This is for the Agenda
And then we
trade
just
show.
wrapped in a few
Downhill
days
skateboarding.
of skating. Yeah.
And we really dude, we were waking up at like 5 a.m. to go and
going
skate.
for it, man.
Yeah.
This was honestly, I think, one of, if not my favorite road that we skated during that trip.
Oh, yeah.
This was
This one,
really good. Yeah.
I think this road is really good. Like I don't think
Like, just the pavement, like everything about it.
it's smooth. It's
Smooth,
fast.
It's scenic.
It's got so
it's
many
quick,
corners.
drifting. Look at those
Yes.
guys.
So
Yeah.
describe
Skating
this.
with Max is fun.
Yeah. So now you guys
So
are both
look at
goofy.
Max. Did you see that?
Yeah, he pulls his
Yeah.
shirt down to start going faster.
Yeah,
than
we're
you.
like drag racing side by side. and
Yeah,
just,
this
like,
is and Max is fast. Like if you know
Oh,
who
yeah.
Max Whipperman is, you like that's a good gauge because you're also going to know that like wow, I don't know who Rayne Daley is, but he's keeping up with Max Whipperman. So also Max is on 73 millimeter wheels, and you're on those 70 millimeter agents.
Oh, yeah. The agents were not quick. I remember I tried to race Catalina on them once, and
Yeah.
it did not go very well.
No, yeah, you needed more beef.
Yeah.
This is the part of the hill where you're going like 60 miles an hour. This isn't like a rental car that's an SUV. In case you guys are
We had the
wondering,
big Jeep.
yeah,
we rallied
no,
that thing.
it was a GMC something or other. But yeah,
That was
this
a Jeep. Like
Maybe it
a
was.
new Jeep. Like it
maybe
didn't
it
look
was.
like a Jeep.
I don't know. All I know is for some reason we couldn't use the friggin' BMW. But
Thanks, Matt.
yeah, thanks, Matt. It was a good choice because we would have fucked the BMW up.
This corner, you can make it really scary.
Yeah, you could. Oh, you almost made that really scary.
Yeah, I scared myself a little bit.
I think you were probably on like.
Just glad I didn't dilute it into the guardrail.
Yeah, I think you. I think that was someone else. I think that was Key Doherty.
Or yeah, Key Doherty. Sorry, both.
Dude,
big
this
racers.
road is so cool.
So sketchy with all those bikers coming up too.
Yeah, if one of them crashes.
going the wrong way.
This is yeah. So like you've always been able to carve away a lot of speed.
yeah.
Oh, dude, go! Did you see that? Go back a bit. We got to give the man a. This is
Had to do a little correcting there.
a little pop. No more. He did the little pop up slide. That's like really cool now. People like to pop all the way up to stand up, but like you're sliding, glove comes off the ground, and then like back on the ground while
Yeah.
you were still. Ooh, that's what it is. Max is fast,
Yeah.
as you would imagine.
And Max gets past. I love skating with Max though.
Yeah, he's so
Just like so solid. And just I love skating with someone who you can actually like really effectively switch off with and stay close with the whole time. And look at that. Yes. He's fun.
yeah.
Max is just hiking mountains left and right in Colorado these days, huh?
Yeah.
Riding bikes and stuff.
It's weird to see him go from such an effective downhill athlete to a very effective uphill athlete.
Yeah, really.
It's kind of like traitor.
Do you forget how fun gravity
he's,
is, dude?
he's into cross country skiing.
Yeah.
He's the first person I ever played disc golf with.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We went and played recently. What do you think?
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna buy some discs.
Okay, cool.
For sure.
It's
So we'll
it'll be a
doing more of that.
non-dangerous hobby.
Oh yeah.
I've talked with a local disc golf store about doing some sort of longboarding and disc golf event.
Oh.
Yeah. Just
right.
for like people that longboard that also disc golf.
Strictly washed up skaters.
I don't know, man. Could you imagine? Like, there's some not washed up skaters
Oh yeah.
that disc golf,
I believe that.
but I mean, it'd be super fun. And I think it's just one of those like, for some reason, everybody that I know that downhill skates or like free ride skates, like, is really into it. Like, we took Merv, the dancing
Oh,
guy,
really?
and he was like, "Yo, like this is legit."
Oh,
Like,
that was sketchy.
Why? Why was it sketchy?
Oh
There
my
was
God.
a puddle, not even a puddle, just a wet patch.
It was
And I
ice.
think-
It was ice.
Was it really?
Because
Here.
no.
No,
No,
it was
no,
just
no.
like I think it's a stream that runs across the
wet
road,
patch.
and then like,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry.
and
I
then
totally
actually
misspoke.
get really close to
I
going
totally
off the road.
misspoke. I was about to say when Max and I were at, we were skating Tepe, and there was snow on the road.
Oh, what?
Yeah, there was like
Tepe?
frost or something. Because at one point he's skating down it and he's foot braking, and his foot is like sliding around on the board, sliding around.
Dude, what?
Yeah, it was
Scary.
burly. Dude, driving follow car was weird too because like you're decelerating and then like he's hitting slush and I'm hitting slush and you're just like, this is not.
Dude, have you ever skated Crater on Maui? Haleakala?
No, I haven't. I've been there.
The strangest phenomenon happens on that road, like early in the day, where like in the shade, even if it doesn't rain, in the shade, like condensation builds on the pavement. So like the shady parts get wet and the sunny parts are dry. And you have to wait till late in the day when the sun's hitting the whole road to skate it.
Yeah, that would make sense. It gets so cold.
Science.
It gets so cold at night
right.
because it's like so high up.
Exactly.
I've definitely been to the top of it. I've just never skated. I wasn't good enough at skating at the time to skate down that road. But I feel pretty confident that I could battle stance my ass down it
dude.
now.
But when there's wind, it's like chill, 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 chill. Oh my God. Chill, 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 chill. Whoa. Chill, chill, chill. It's really
Yeah.
weird.
I would like to go back there and I'd like to skate the other road right next to it.
The lavender one,
Yeah.
that's probably one of my favorite roads.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It was.
If you like, you're a big fan of Giant's Head.
Yeah, I'd like Giant's Head a
I think
lot
you
more
would love that road.
if it was like $500, but they only allowed like a third the people.
Yeah, right. Be exclusive.
Yeah, very exclusive because I think that would definitely be something that I could be into because I get so nervous. There's so many kids there on their parents' health insurance, and I just suck so much at skating. It's really not fair
Or you
for
could
them.
just have some guy with like a whip at the top who would just like whip any of the free riders if they went before the downhillers. It's like, get back.
I mean, yeah, but like this is the issue is I want to skate it differently than a lot of other people, and so if I'm at Giant's Head, for
You're just-
example, I'm
you're
trying to like
big man
I'm
slarvin'.
I'm slarvin' Marvin, my friend,
Yeah.
and that doesn't really translate well when there's like kids behind you just like riding switch at full speed, getting ready to switch check into corners, and you're just like, buddy, you need to knock it off
I've
with that
taken
shit.
many of folks out there doing that as well.
Yeah,
Just
and there's
like, I'm coming too fast.
yeah, it's like most of the time I go there, I just like put on more square lipped wheels and like glove down.
Yeah.
But like, there's like two issues. One, I just like to skate the Thainers. So
Two,
like,
tightrope.
yeah. And no, tightrope doesn't. Yeah, no.
If you're on squares,
Dude, I just go so. I'm just so fat. I was about to say I go so fast, but like, there's certain parts on that road where like, if someone's in front of you air braking and they're lightweight, they're going slow. And if I'm behind you air braking, the road's only so wide. So like, I'm catching your draft and I'm a billion pounds heavier. So I just get
not a good
sucked
time.
into that vortex.
yeah.
And then I'm double pending, and that's nothing good.
Yeah.
Nothing good at
Not
all.
a good recipe.
Yeah, when you see a thick man like me behind you, and you're like carving, and I'm just looking at you, like shaking my head, like,
Just look
not
back,
again.
Big Kool-Aid shirt. Just like, oh no.
Dude, I have definitely passed some people on that road that didn't want it, and I didn't want to pass. I passed Jeremy Shum in tightrope.
Jeremy Shum, dude. I haven't seen that guy in years.
Yeah. Well, he does live in Canada, in the middle part of Canada, but like,
Okay.
he was in front of me and he was light and I was behind him. And I think he'd done like 2 180s and I ended up passing him at the speed of I'm terrified. And then like swooped him and then overdrifted the corner and like washed out. But very
That'll
Giants heady.
happen.
Very, very Giants heady thing to happen.
Very.
So that was like, I really enjoyed that. One of the other things that I thought was really funny about you moving back to Seattle is kind of in relation to Giants Head is you didn't suck at skating when you got back. You were still kind of okay.
Oh,
Even though
just
you took like 4 years off.
Yeah. I mean, muscle memory is a hell of a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, you did skate a lot originally.
Yeah.
So like what happened? You went from this super nice skater boy and where'd you go?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
What did you do while you were gone from Washington?
Oh, I see. Well, I left the U.S. to go live in Belize for a couple years.
What were you doing there?
I was serving in the Peace Corps, doing health education stuff.
And how was
Community
that?
Health education.
How was that it?
that was like kind of like a racer campsite with less substances, but for 2 years. Pooping in a hole, sleeping in
Really?
a hammock. Yeah, no water, no electricity for a couple years, just living in the jungle of Belize.
Wait, tell me more.
What do you want to know?
There's no electricity.
Yeah, I was living with Mayans down there. So the south of Belize is like neighbor to Guatemala. So there's a lot of Mayan communities down there. So I was living with a Mayan family there for 2 years, eating a lot of tortillas, a lot of rice and beans, chilling out, lots of mangoes. Wasn't too bad, honestly. And man, the kids have a particular thing that they do there. They were really holding out. I didn't see this until like a year and a half in, but there's a palm tree there that as it ages, it lets these like, I think it's the seed casings, they kind of like droop down, and they're like little boat-shaped dried, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a big
Husk.
kind of boat-shaped husk thing. Mm-hmm. And like in the dry season there's like hillsides that get covered with leaves. And if you ever like lived in a place where like there's really dry grass hillsides and you take a piece of cardboard and like go sledding down it, that was like essentially what they were doing. And dude, these kids would like rip down these hills and like go off like jumps of rocks in these little like husks. And they were just tearing it up. And I was just like, yo, why didn't you guys tell me about this like right when I showed up? You're holding out. And it was cool. But I think I posted on that on my Instagram. That was like one of the few things I posted while I was down there. So
Wow.
yeah, that was one of the cool things. Iguana is not that bad.
You've eaten an iguana.
Yeah. Cow brain is not that bad.
Wow.
Yeah. Ate some interesting things down there.
Wow. Very interesting.
Yeah.
So how, what made you join the Peace Corps?
It was, it was kind of a career move and kind of just like wanting to, try something different move.
When you say career move,
I got, I was in public health, got a degree in public health, global health specifically. And I was thinking I wanted to go in that direction, and I did the Peace Corps. And long story short, I don't think I want to do that anymore. So
wait, you did 2 years in the Peace Corps, and you're just like,
I'm
wow,
good. Yeah.
that's
not because of the Peace Corps really, but like that's a whole nother conversation that we could have off podcast. But it's just
sum it up.
Sometimes you do things to figure out if you want to do them, and you learn what you don't want to do in life. So that was, I think, one of those things. I loved my experience living down there. Nothing wrong with the experience I had. Just like the work of global aid is more problematic than I expected it to be. Yeah.
It is a conversation for an incredibly different podcast.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, so 2 years down there, exciting. And then you end up meeting a lady.
Yes. Yep. And then, I didn't have my heart set on coming back to Seattle because I was like, to be honest, kind of over it.
Yeah, it's tough.
It was a change in place.
If you haven't, I was lucky as a young kid. I got the opportunity to drive around the entire country. Got to see a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah.
But I also realized Seattle's not too bad.
It ain't bad.
It ain't bad.
It ain't bad.
But if in case you're listening to this podcast and you don't live in Seattle, please don't come.
Yeah, don't move here.
There's a lot of problems with Seattle. Like, don't get me wrong.
But I mean, I've been back here for 3 weeks now, digging being back in the Northwest, really digging not being in Seattle city limits. So it's the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being near Seattle is much cooler than being in Seattle.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree.
Rent is affordable outside of Seattle.
Yeah, I don't live in Seattle, in case anyone's wondering. I am not making it that well at the moment. That's like $4,000 a month, and here's your closet.
Right, I know.
Don't talk too loud.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you moved back, but you didn't move straight back to Seattle. So you were like, left the Peace Corps, and you're like, yo, I am going
Minneapolis.
Why'd you go to Minneapolis?
Well, Chelsea is from Minnesota.
Who was
in
case
person I met.
you're unaware, Minneapolis is in Minnesota.
Yes, Minneapolis is in Minnesota. And so I lived there for almost 2 years after living abroad.
What part of Minneapolis did you live in?
South Minneapolis.
Okay.
In Longfellow neighborhood.
the Longfellow neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so, what did you go back to Minneapolis to do originally?
I couldn't tell you that. Just
Because
live life, man.
you're just like, I'm not going back to Seattle.
Yeah, I was really not trying to move back to a place I couldn't afford. Like Peace Corps, believe it or not, doesn't pay well. It's a volunteer position. So I came back with zero money, pretty much just enough to like settle back and know that, job prospects were not good. So a more affordable rent was pretty appealing. New place was appealing. So I just decided to try out Minneapolis.
And what did you do while you were there?
Got into pool skating. There's no hills. So the skate parks became my little playground.
Which is fun. Pool skating's legit, dude.
Pool
It's so
skating's
fun
really
to pump
fun.
around.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's like the closest thing to downhill skateboarding, I guess, that you can do in a skate park.
Yes.
And I like keeping my wheels on the ground. It makes me really afraid when they're off the ground. I really can't convince my mind.
Downhill
that something's
skateboarding
not
really
wrong.
breeds that into you. When your wheels are off the ground, you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you snowboard at all while you were out there?
No. There's like one resort. You probably know it, Lutsen, up in the north end.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, I don't. I hear it's great, though, from
Yeah.
you.
I didn't get to the one winter that I probably would have been able to was this last winter, and it was terrible up there. Like they didn't get a lot of snow or anything like that. But it's a cool little resort. I would totally try it out, but I just didn't get to. It's also like 2.5 hours north of Minneapolis, so bummer.
Are you working a 9 to 5 right now?
Yeah,
So you have weekends off?
yeah,
Buddy, can I please make a recommendation?
and Fridays pretty much.
Great.
Yeah, what's up?
So, get yourself a Snoqualmie Seasons Pass.
Dude, I will jump on that bandwagon. Trust me.
After this, I will pull up the website on the computer that
I'm
we're using
coming
right
here,
now.
buying my
No,
my
right
setup.
now. You don't. You just need to go snowboarding.
Yeah, I know.
You tell Chelsea as well. I got her.
Dude, there's
I'll get her
mountains here. I can't resist.
on rentals. It's about an hour away from Tacoma. We'll go to Snoqualmie on Sundays.
Right on.
It'll be a great time, but it's something that I think you need to do. You need to buy the season's pass, and then you need to know that I'm always going
Even on weekends.
on Sundays. Allison's
okay.
definitely going, and I'm definitely going. You just have to meet my dog. You've met Charlie.
I met Charlie the other day. He was chill.
He was chill.
Yeah, super chill. He was like, pretty like whatever dude about me, but he was living his little doggy life.
Which is ideal.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Okay, good.
Yeah, right. Charlie's chill.
Charlie's
Charlie.
chill.
Yeah.
So, what did you end up? So you're in Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and did you get into like? I think you at one point you were telling me you were doing wood stuff, and I
Well,
was
yeah.
like,
Oh,
"Yo,
yeah.
are you going to build any longboards?"
Spacing out. Yeah, I went there for a woodworking program. So that was another big part of moving there was for a woodworking program. Spaced out on that part. But yeah, that was like a
Yeah, that
year-long-
made you sound very unmotivated. You're like, I'm going
just-
anywhere
I
but
don't know,
Seattle, bro.
man.
Cheap rent's where it's at. No, you're actually got your eye on the ball.
There was a point.
So you
There
have
was-
a college degree at this point.
Yeah, I have a college degree, but paid a lot of money to not have a job, so I was a little frustrated about that.
But I mean, you went in with the best of intent. It's just,
yeah, right. It's what you can do. But I mean, I was like, I saw the woodworking program as kind of a way to readjust into living in the U.S. again. It would set me on like I'd have a regular thing to do during the day, something to just like set my schedule that I really enjoyed. I love woodworking. I've been trying to do it, get more involved with it since high school, really. And I just figured it was a good time. And lo and behold, it set me up with a really solid job.
which moved you back to Washington.
Yes, which is why I'm here now.
So what are you doing now?
I'm helping build pipe organs.
What the fuck is a pipe organ?
It's what you see in the churches, like all the pipes.
Are we talking about
super
the,
epic.
like the Phantom of the Opera? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, right. I'm building those things. It's pretty dope.
Wow. What goes into building a pipe organ? Like, I assume a lot of time and effort.
Yeah, I mean, each organ is a whole lot of money, and it takes like a year and a half to build it.
Damn.
To build a full organ.
To build a full organ, yeah. I mean, depending on the size and all that, But the place I'm working is really cool. They do pretty much everything in house. They cast the metal sheets and make the pipes, voice the pipes, which is like making them sound correct. We build the cases from just the lumber that they buy. So it's all done in house. It's pretty cool. I can show you a photo of it. The lower case that we just kind of assembled today.
dude.
Right now?
Yeah, do you have your phone on you?
It's right
Let me
here.
see this bad boy. That's super goofy that you would go. I mean, it's like, sorry, when I've known you for a very long time, and to be like, yeah, dude, now I'm making pipe organs.
I mean,
Just like,
yeah,
wait,
I didn't,
what?
It
Like,
actually kind of, caught me off guard a little bit. So there's the lower case that just got assembled today.
oh, very fancy. Wow, that shop looks neat. Where is this shop at?
Tacoma, Parkland area of Tacoma.
What's the name of it?
Paul Fritz and Co. Organ Builders.
Wow.
Yeah.
And are they a pretty big deal? I mean, I don't know if there's a lot. I don't know the pipe organ game that well.
I mean, they do it. They know how to. They know what they're doing. Like, Paul has decades of experience building organs, and the methods that they use to make the metal of the pipe specifically is really interesting. The casting bed is like they do sand casting for the metal sheets to make the pipes. So they have this really fine sand that's mixed with peanut oil, and they have this like long, like kind of like shuffleboard looking trough that they fill up with the sand. And then they have something that skims the top and flattens it, so it's like really smooth. And then they pour the tin over that, and then they run the trough back over that, so it makes the glassy smooth tin. And then because it doesn't bond to the sand, they can just take it off, and they've got their sheet of. Then they pound that to the right density, and then they cut it and shape it into the pipes.
So it's just like, wow.
Yeah, super technical stuff. Like the metal is like way beyond my understanding. I do not. Maybe I'll learn it someday. But
Like what they're doing with metal, you're just like looking
just
at
like,
that, like,
dude,
cool. I'll
cool.
just stay out of your way. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. I'll stick to the wood. I mean, I'm familiar with the woodworking part of things.
Okay.
And that's what I'm doing down there.
Is that pretty exciting?
Super exciting. Yeah, I love it.
You're just like so happy every day to go
I'm
to
really
work.
stoked. Yeah, it's like it's really cool to like get off of work on Friday and be like, I'm kind of looking forward to going back to work on Monday. It's a good feeling.
That's nice. I'm happy
Yeah,
for you.
right.
So before you moved back to Seattle,
Yeah.
this is kind of something that I thought was very fascinating. I talked to you a while ago, and I was like, so, Rayne, how's it going? How's living in Minneapolis? I gave you a call out of the blue.
Yeah.
And this is about September or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point, you're like, yo, I'm moving back to Seattle. I was like, dude, I'm so happy to hear that. Is Minneapolis not going all that well? And you told me a pretty fascinating story about specifically where you were living.
Yeah.
Would you mind telling
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Would you mind telling everybody where you were living in Minneapolis and
Well,
what
I think
happened while you were living there?
I think if you're not living under a rock, you heard about the police murder of George Floyd.
Yeah.
And that occurred pretty close to my neighborhood, but what happened down the street was the ensuing protests and burning of buildings, specifically the police
regarding
station.
the third precinct, is that what it is?
The third precinct was like maybe a 10-minute walk down the street from my house. So it was like really close by. And yeah, that was hectic. That was, it was an interesting time to live in Minneapolis, that's for sure.
What was going on like at night? What was that living experience like? Just because like the police station had been burnt down. Like tell me all like the way that you described it when we were like hanging out in my car was like, dude, tell me more. Like it was kind of the way that you described it was kind of funny, but it was very serious at the same time. You're like, yo, this kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it was just really interesting the way that all kind of just ensued after that, after the protesting began, because, Chelsea and I walked down the street one day when like the significant protests were starting at that precinct because it was closest to where George Floyd was murdered. And, like we walked down, there was a big crowd around the precinct, all fenced off, and there were police up top with like their whatever guns, rubber bullet guns and stuff, and tear gas, all suited up. And,
did you guys walk down to the protest because you were just walking in your neighborhood, or were you walking down there to be supportive?
Be supportive.
Okay.
Yeah. And also just kind of curious about what was going on.
I mean, it's so close. Yeah.
Yeah. So we walk up, and like literally as we walk up, we're just like boom, boom, like tear gas starts going off, and like shots are being fired of whatever type. And so it gets a little hectic pretty quick.
A little hectic pretty quick.
Yeah. And then I think it was either that It was the next day. So that was the first day that it started to get kind of serious. And then the next day, they had like a radius blocked off around the precinct, and the National Guard had been called in at that point because things were like getting pretty serious with the protesting. And so there was like National Guard up the street, police at the precinct guarding the perimeter around the building, and they were like, and then the curfew had been set at that point. So
Wait,
I think
what?
they
What do you
set a
mean?
curfew. So the city imposed a curfew where if you were out in the streets past, I think it was 7 p.m., then you
7
you
p.m.
could get arrested. Yeah,
That is.
it was serious.
And were people abiding by the curfew?
I mean, yeah, it was. They used it as a means of deterring the protests specifically. If you were driving on your way home from work, it's 7:05. You're not going to get pulled over and stuff.
But if there's 180 people walking down the street,
Yeah,
at
they're
10
going to be
o'clock,
like, all right, now we can arrest you. Like, go home or get arrested. That's pretty much, it was the tool that they were using. So, so they were that was the first day of the curfew, and they were just like counting down, really. And then there were protesters there, like right at the police line, right next to the building. And then they were like, they announced the curfew, and then they just, you'd expect after that things would get a little more violent with like the police response, but they just started to back away, like towards the precinct. And the National Guard even was like starting to retreat. So they all consolidated around the police precinct. Then they just pieced out. They just left it.
wait, so at 7 o'clock, they're like, yeah, there's a curfew, everybody, at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and by
later,
7:30 they were gone. Because I don't really understand what was going on, but I guess there were so many protests. There wasn't one main protest. So it was really stretching out the capacity of the police departments and then even the National Guard that was there to back them up. So I guess protecting the precinct was not as much of a priority at that point. So they just fucked right off and it got burned the fuck down that night.
the police precinct got burned to the ground.
Not burned to the ground, but it was gutted. It was like, black, like the flames came out the windows and like
Okay.
the entrance was totally burned. And then like the whole like 2-block radius around that precinct was also burned down. Like tons, the Target was burned and looted.
Like Target, the store,
Yeah. Like
probably looted,
literally
then burned.
everywhere
Yeah.
that we shopped and went on a regular basis was like burned to the ground. Like there was half the buildings were like piles of burned rubble by the next day. It was wild. And
Wait, so in like one day, like
well, it was the sequence of like 3 days. So
in
the
3 days, like 20, 30 buildings got burned down or more.
yeah, about that, yeah, in that area at least.
Oh my.
And for 3 nights, there was 3 nights and 3 days, there was 0 police presence in that neighborhood. So anything was happening. And like there was like rumors of all kinds of stuff going on, from like white supremacist groups occupying the neighborhoods and like, doing whatever they wanted because there weren't police to respond to them, to looters, to people with no license plates coming in from out of state, trying to take advantage of the situation in those neighborhoods just because they could. So it was interesting.
Like coming in from out of state to loot or like
Right, exactly. Or to do whatever, just to, yeah. I mean, if they didn't have a license plate, it wasn't a good sign. So yeah, it was interesting, dude. I mean, the silver lining was that the community became very tight knit through that situation. So like the community that we were living, all the neighbors, we mobilized to have night watches. So during the day, it was like relatively chill, but at night it got really hectic. And
what do you mean by really hectic?
like just sketchy shit going on like all the time, and like really weird vehicles driving by, like RVs with like skull and crossbones. It was just weird stuff, dude.
wait, RVs with a skull and
Yeah.
crossbones.
Yeah, like ripping down the road and like just people like doing whatever they wanted because it was like literally pretty lawless for like 3 days. 0 police presence.
Have you ever seen the movie The Purge?
Yeah. A little bit like that.
Close, but not quite like that.
Yeah, exactly. No one was like, yeah, exactly, willingly out to murder each other, but it felt like that a little bit.
If it's like if the purge, but you could just do like non-violent offenses.
Right. Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, that's probably very simplifying it, but like just that sounds incredibly ridiculous in terms of like what you're mentally ready for.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we would literally like just take like shifts standing at the end of the streets. So we would like barricade the block ends so that vehicles
With cars?
with like random stuff, whatever people had in their basements, really. We would like just pile up. Our neighbors were like theater people. So they had a bunch of like theater props that we would put at the end of they had a canoe that we put at the end of the block and just like to block the street off once the curfew was set. Because they had a curfew set for like, I don't know, like almost a week at that point. So yeah, it was interesting. So we would just take shifts watching the block all night and just kind of hang out with each other. And that's how we got to know our neighbors really well. And the neighborhood like was super tight after that sequence of events, which was like the silver lining of the whole thing. But yeah. And then right when I was leaving Minneapolis was the trial of Derek Chauvin. And that was like a, National Guard was all over the place again. It's like legit police state stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So that's I mean, dude, I don't even know what to say. I'm bummed it's like being recorded, but at the same time, I was like, what a very unique experience to live through.
Yeah, it was wild. It was a very interesting, year and a half in Minneapolis, that's for sure. Very interesting.
2 years in Belize, just no electricity, no running water, pooping in a hole.
Yeah, right.
Then like move to Minneapolis and just like get into woodworking.
Yeah.
But wait,
There's more. Yeah.
And now you're
Yeah.
back in Seattle, so probably gonna have that like once every 200,000 year earthquake. Now that you're back, you bad luck.
Waiting for the big one.
Oh my goodness.
Hopefully, we're not setting up in Oregon during that thing.
Setting up.
Bummer. Yeah, that room that I showed you the photo in. They assemble the whole organ inside that place, and then deconstruct it and reassemble it wherever it's going in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh man.
yeah, don't want that coming down on you.
So you build the entire thing, and then move it, and
Make
then
sure it's working and sounding right, and then crate it up, take it apart, crate it up, and then
How much does an organ cost?
a chill it varies, but a cool 1.5 million is what they're making.
Is so they're making a high quality organ. You're not finding these at Target.
No, yeah, they don't mess around with them. That's for sure.
Have you
I
heard
hope
one?
I'm allowed to say that on this podcast. Sorry,
Don't
if
worry.
I'm
No,
not.
no one listens to this thing. So I'm just saying that until the
None
paper.
of the organ builders are like, what dirt can we get?
Yeah, Rayne told them all about our metal manufacturing process. No, I mean organs are expensive. When you told me about that, I was like, I want to ask more questions.
Dude,
but later.
custom woodworking anything is expensive, really.
I mean, so you're just a small piece of a big. Have you heard one of those organs?
No, not yet. I mean,
How long have you been? You've been working there for like 2 weeks,
3 weeks. Yeah. So I'm just like getting a little taste of everything that goes into constructing these things. And they're like, it's like thousands of pieces that all go in and work with each other. It's wild. Beyond just the wooden case and the pipes, there's all the keys and all the things, the mechanics of the organ that go. They all make it in house. It's like it's fascinating. Yeah. Wow.
Is it all like mechanical, or is there any electronics?
Yeah. How does it? When
The
you say
one
there's
electronic thing is the motor for the blower that sends the wind through the organ.
because like I was about to ask about that. Like essentially how it works is there's a bunch of air either stored up in like a pressurized area, or do they just push a bunch of air in super fast?
Yeah, that's like the one thing that they don't produce in house. Pretty much is the electronic blower that produces the wind for the organ. As far as I know, like it's super complex. There's a lot I don't understand, but I get the basic gist of organs now.
And you're like, can I do my job very well so that they'll keep me around?
Yeah, right. Try my best.
My cuts are sharp.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Here's your mic check. Ready? You like that?
Good enough.
Oh,
Oh, get a little wet.
Thank you for coming on.
My pleasure.
So sweet when it hits the lips.
Oh, so refreshing.
I love it. So we're going to move on. Get rid of those exciting vibes of what you've been doing in the world and get back to what I think makes this podcast great, which is two people talking over a video.
Reminiscing.
Pull up a video. Yeah, that one. The other one, sorry. Not that one. That's just yes. This was some of the memories that come to mind.
This was the trip that we hit like a lot of hills in one trip, right?
I think it was like
28?
28.
28, I think.
It went to essentially this is just like 3 hours away from our houses, and like there's a lot of good stuff on the map, but we don't actually know
Not
where.
anymore. This road, done.
What?
The most grotesque chip seal.
On that upper section,
The driveway is still good, but Knowles, the rest of Knowles is
Dunzo.
absolutely dead. Like this pavement, look at how nice it is. It sparkles in the sunlight. Not anymore.
Chip seal.
Done. Like the gnarliest chip seal you can imagine.
What about all the Eagle Rock stuff?
Eagle Rock is the one neighborhood that's still actually decently paved.
Because they redid Mission.
Done.
Done.
First one to go was McNeil. That's where that was like one of the few places in Washington you could hit 70.
Yep.
That was done. Oh, yeah. Eagle Rock right here is the only one that's still hanging on. Yeah, Nahum has been done for a while. Oh, so sad. The mecca of downhill skateboarding in Washington is no longer. Amigos done. Calgary at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
All the good stuff, man. It's all done.
This Oreo run.
Mission really broke my heart though.
Yeah, that would be a heartbreaker.
So sad.
Yeah, that's. I mean, maybe they'll repave it. Did they chip seal it? When was the last time you were out
Yeah,
there?
I did. It's like far less than I was just there. I don't know, not even that long ago. Within the last year,
Okay, yeah, it was rough the last time I was there too.
even within the last 6 months.
I've
I
always
think.
been like holding out hope that like they're just repaving it in blacktop.
I know, right? Yeah, maybe if I don't know some big infrastructure deal goes through and they get money for that, but otherwise it's chip seal.
Yeah. Oh, bummer.
I know. Mission was such a gem.
Yeah, but you know what's still good out there is that meteor run.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know. Not for me.
When's the last time you skated it? Was it that time?
I think there was one time after that. And
But you skated it like a total bag of water.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough to want to go back and
dude. That like I always wanted to tell myself that like, you know what, no matter what kind of crash I have, I'm always gonna be trying to send it. And I'm scared now.
That was a pretty thirsty crash. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I didn't get that hurt, but good Lord, I got scared.
I mean, dude,
Like,
you got pretty
You know,
hurt.
Going Superman style down a cliff and like having your life flash before your eyes will really make you think twice about doing it again.
Yeah, so describe that crash for.
Oh, I mean, Devin and Sam, you know, when they were on here, they described it pretty well. I was ripping it super hard, feeling super good on it all day on broken in wheels. And then I was like, okay, time to grip.
Time
And
to
then
put
I
on the
threw on
freshies.
some really grippy freshies. And was going really I mean, if you were fishtailing behind Devin, I'm honestly kind of glad you weren't following me down first, because that would have been, I was like going really fast down that straightaway, full tuck into that left, like through that bend, that first bend where you think you might want to drift. I was like tucking through
No,
that.
yeah, you got to talk through that for sure.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah, you got
like,
to talk through that. I don't talk through that.
yeah, right when I like chucked it sideways, it was like immediate high tide. And yeah, I was like going probably 50 miles an hour at the slide, and then I got chucked off and slid for quite a while before I went off the cliff. I probably went off the cliff at like 25, 30 miles an hour.
What happened after you went off the cliff?
Was airborne for longer than I wanted to be, that's for sure. Face down the cliff. And I landed in the one spot that probably would have prevented me from getting a lot more hurt than I did.
What'd you land on?
In that little bush, friend. That little bush buddy. God damn.
It's not a big bush either. Like
No,
wait,
it's like the one like body-sized bush that was like, Rayne, welcome, but painfully. Yeah, so I just like cracked that shit with my ribs and crawled back out. And to the right of that was like a fallen tree with all
like,
these nice jagged branches, and then to the left of that bush was just more hillside that I would have just tumbled down.
yeah, you really picked an A1 spot to eat shit.
A1 for sure.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Were you ever there at Maryhill when Jacob Christian crashed into the bush with Jose de Acaza?
Maybe, I don't know.
No. Is that
Was
not
it a
ringing-
free ride?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. You know the Never Ending Left?
Yeah,
Do you know who Jacob Christian is?
I'm not sure.
Well, he used to skate. He was like, I want to say he had
I feel like I remember being on a free
black and white leathers. He had, I want to say, a little bit of maybe cerebral palsy. A little bit.
ride. Oh, yeah, I do.
You know exactly who Jacob
Yep,
Christian is.
I do.
And Jose and me
I
were
think I
coming up.
was there.
We're coming up behind
Jose
him,
was
and he,
bummed.
Jose felt really bad because he took Jacob out, and Jacob was, I mean, he's skating the hill. He was doing a really great job, and
Yeah.
ended up getting swooped or something. And the worst part of Never Ending Left, I want to say it's Never Ending Left. Right at the last little apex, Jacob got swooped and didn't really have the ability to get super low, and so he went straight off the road and clipped the hay bales with his feet
I went straight over him.
and went straight over him,
my
did not
God.
slow down at all. And that's like a pretty big cliff, and you're probably doing 25, 35 miles an hour. He's in leathers, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
And so he went through the air, like flipping. And I just remember being like, oh, not
Never
first
ending?
off, like, yeah, like not Jacob of all people, but not there.
Yeah.
Was my second thought. And he like flipped, but since he didn't slow down at all, he made it all the way to the bush in the
He
gully.
just like cartwheeled through the air.
Cartwheeled through the air and like landed in the bush. And he like, I forget what his injuries were, but like it was probably like a 45-foot gap from road to bush.
Yeah.
And he like had broken glasses, and I think he broke like a wrist or an ankle. But other than that, was like,
I think
okay.
he broke his wrist.
And he was like, I'm pretty much okay considering. He's like, oh yeah, I've broken my wrist many times. Like this isn't anything new. And I just remember being like, you badass.
Yeah.
Like you
Right.
You
I know,
just
came
went
out of it
so far
pretty
off.
clean.
Yeah, that was another yeeting of someone off a
Oh,
road.
Yeah, I know exactly. Okay, it's all coming back to me. Yeah, that rather large tree, like at the outside of Never Ending, right?
Yeah.
Like as you're exiting out, where it gets a little like.
Yeah. And then like right where you're like,
Yeah.
I want to be inside on this last little apex so that I
Yeah.
can be out or like diving to
Yeah.
cut people off for the next
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
Yeah. He like right where it
Okay.
got like steeper. Jose was like just to the outside of him and like ducked it. And like right when he ducked it, Jacob got scared and like stood up. And when he got stood up, he like went straight through that
Is he
apex.
goofy or regular? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head, I was right behind him. But when he went off the road, I remember immediately like looking at him going off the road and then realizing I was skating directly after him. And so I had to like bend down hella hard and like, like get back on the road. Cause I was like, the last thing he needed was for me to like come in and like people's elbow his ass once he like landed in the bush. Cause I was like, I was following him. He was my marker. I was like, oh, I'm going to stay right behind him. Cause like, I don't know, like in that corner, especially when like there's like 5 or 6 people around, like sometimes you can't really see the road. You're just trying to like keep the proximity of
Yeah,
wheels the
exactly.
same. You're like just looking at people's wheels more so than you're looking through the corner. Like,
Rub my
yeah,
wheels, please.
yeah, I've definitely put hands on people's boards, put hands on people. Like you're like, hey,
yeah, absolutely.
I like you, but I don't trust my safety with you.
Yeah.
So
Some of the most fun I've had on Maryhill was Grav biking like through a pack of
oh
downhill
my
skateboarders.
goodness, I've never
Because I
got
would hate me if I was a skater watching some asshole like with a 100-pound Grav bike like inside.
dude.
Sorry.
I like drift trikes. My favorite
I never
non-longboarding.
mess with those, man.
They're
I
so,
just-
I'm not gonna, you know, the Perkins boys.
Of course.
Shout out the Perkins boys, but like
Yeah.
they're, you know that Maryhill Nate and Motion Boardshop Nate are two different Nates.
Oh yeah.
And Maryhill Nate one time went there and like I've skated a bunch and it's a wonderful event. And like one Sunday, I've always made fun of the drift trikers. And like one Sunday, they were just like, if you're not a little, if you're not a little fish, you gotta like, you're gonna hop on this. And I was like, this is stupid. So like they like
I'm a big
peer
fish.
pressured me into it. I've known the Perkins gang for like 4 years at this point. I've always been like, these things stupid, but they're all super cool. And like they have Grav bikes. They were the people doing the trailer hitch, like the multiple seats on the
right.
back of the drift trike. Like, oh, so dumb.
Yeah, I've never ridden one. I've just seen. I'm sure I could do it like just fine, but like I've just seen too many people with
Get
like
rat trapped.
torn up like shins, like
Yeah.
when it gets caught on the front wheel or something weird, or like if they like, like Darius style like flipping.
Yeah,
off
that's
of
a rat trap where you get
rat trap.
Yeah, where it like flips on top of
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you
That
end up
just does
backwards
not
and
look
then
fun.
I mean,
Bunch of metal getting tangled up.
yeah, it's tough. I don't know. I'm naturally good at things that require stupidity, and drift trikes is like, within I would say like 2 runs, I was able to keep up with all of the Perkins boys and
Oh.
like drift through. Like, there's certain people that like hop on them and they're like, "Yo, I get it immediately."
Yeah.
There's like a certain level of like you're going into every corner at Maryhill and you're like hucking it super sideways,
like,
and you're just drifting through the entire thing,
Yeah.
and like. The way they do it, and like the first run I took, they were super nice. And they're like, yeah, like try and kick it
Well,
out.
they take like race lines on the things.
They take corners on 2 wheels. They also play battle trikes, which is the most fun. We are talking about like, so they come up behind you and just like try and kick your wheels out from the side. So you'll be going like straight through like ambulance, and then like someone will like hammer your back wheels, and then you're sideways and like, oh shit. And like they'll be going into corners and like everyone will be drifting, and like someone will immediately go from like drifting to like hooking up and going straight and then slamming into you while you're drifting. And like just, it's so much fun.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I haven't tried yet. Maybe the next time I go to a Maryhill free ride, I'll give it a go.
Yo,
The
I'm
one
saying,
other thing was that really, I think it was Sin Cycles you had it, like that one, like where you're on your stomach with your hands forward.
oh
And
yeah.
you're like the 2 wheels are in front and 1 wheel's behind you. Mm-hmm. That one's pretty fun too, honestly.
So yeah, what do you think of Grav? I mean, you've raced Maryhill, haven't you?
Yeah, several times.
How well did you do? What's like your fast time?
Recently, it's been so long. I don't even want to say a number. I really can't remember. I remember one year it was 3:12, and like at the time it was considered good, but like now it's like what 3:03 or 3:00. I don't know.
It's like, I think it's 3:05
Small
is what
threes are really like the best.
you're moving.
I think I got a 3:06 or 8 one time, and that was like my best.
which is fast.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, when it comes to racing, I'm like, I don't put enough thought into it. I'm just like,
You're good at,
I'm
like,
trying
riding
to
with
stay
10
with
people.
the homies,
Yeah.
dude. And like when it comes time to like really competitive thinking, I just kind of check out. And I'm just like, you know what? This isn't fun anymore. People are like coming up to me at semifinals and rubbing strange oils underneath my nose to clear my nasals. And it's just weird now.
Wait, what?
I don't know. Yeah, it's just weird. One time when I got actually the last sanctioned race that I went to was Catalina, the last Catalina, when I got to semis, and like the vibe definitely changes when you're like in the quarterfinals, semifinals, finals at a race, because it's just like people are really fucking serious.
People are trying.
Yeah, and then like at that race, like Irvine comes up to me and he's just like, "You want some of this?" And he's like rubbing this like mint oil or something underneath my nose. It's like, it clears up your sinuses. It's cool. I'm just like, okay, man. All right, whatever you say.
How was Catalina as an event?
Dude, I love Catalina. That's my favorite race, I'd say. One, because the track is absolutely like my style. Like,
Which
really
is like
tight and windy, like really favors lighter racers.
and like banging turns and like
Banging turns,
grip
like
and stuff.
Interlaken style turns.
Yeah.
Which like if someone isn't familiar with Interlaken, it's like,
I think we've got a video of it.
yeah, we can show Interlaken.
Yeah, no big deal. We
It's
filmed
like,
a lot of stuff.
You know, I've skated that road more than any other road ever, really.
Interlaken, because for a while it was closed down.
Oh, the golden
days.
of Interlaken.
Yeah,
Oh
when we
my
used
God.
to leave Rayne, Daley. No, it's open. There's a tab open on the top already. I don't know which one it is. Click that one. Nope.
On Interlaken.
Nope.
There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So This is like this is like a little oasis within.
Seattle has a
like,
bunch of terrible pavement, and this is one of the few roads that has decent pavement, but also
it's
goes
still
downhill.
pretty crap, but it's like
Oh,
I
it's
love
real
it because it's
shit, yeah.
character. You know, it's like it's crap where it's good where you need it to be. Really,
It's good in the corners and then rumbly. Like this whole spot,
And then it's just
this
like,
whole
you
turn's
know.
rumbly. This next spot, there's a bunch of like weird cracks in it. But this is so there used to be two signs right here, so that the whole road was closed down to the next part. So we used to bomb this with like 20 people every
like
day after
roadblock
work.
signs.
Yes, like this type
High
of
consequence guardrail. That's probably like
one of your worst lines ever on that corner too.
yeah, actually.
That guardrail's claimed legs.
And
This corner's
faces
yeah.
and arms.
This corner is super sweet. I almost got hit by a Honda Element there. I was like riding a board I wasn't familiar with and tried to inside somebody and like drifted out right in
Yeah.
front of him. This section's super fun. This
this is just a
corner's
little
got some
whoop that you gotta
that's got some
rumble over.
spooky pavement.
Yep.
And then this bottom corner where I think you watched me take out a bicyclist.
Dude, yeah, these are listen to the bikers right here. Yes, it was. Wow, that was dangerous. Yeah, I mean, there's all there's
I
so
smoked
many
a
bikers.
I smoked a bicyclist in that corner.
I think I was
I
there.
broke their bike.
I also plowed into you one time. You like slid.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like slid to a stop in that turn, and I was just like, boom. I like, do you remember that?
yeah,
I
no.
like thought I broke my leg. I just smacked you so hard.
Well,
But
that
it was all
corner's got
good.
the worst pavement on the road. It goes from pretty
Yeah.
decent and then there's a pavement change. So it's kind of rumbly. Like, so we used to skate that all the time because it was closed to traffic in two of the dangerous corners. And the other thing that's really awesome about Interlaken is there's a flat trail that pretty much takes you the majority of the way back up the hill.
Yeah.
So it's a very easy
Super
hike.
hikeable.
Very easy hike for the coolness of the downhill road. And you could fit a lot of people
And
on
it's like shaded during the summertime, so it's not like too hot. You can just session it for hours on end.
And we did.
And we certainly did
Yeah.
for years and years, and it had many outlaw races on it. But yeah, so Catalina is very similar to that style. It's like just like a really cracked out Interlaken, basically.
A lot of micro drifts, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like blind corners that you look like you really need to drift them, but you can totally grip if you like just
You believe.
if you have the faith.
If you have the faith, you can get through these corners.
Exactly. So it's I love that race course, and just like, Catalina's dope. It's expensive, it's for sure.
Yeah.
But,
Well, and I
the
mean,
party's there. Dubes organizes it, so automatically that's probably going to make it pretty dope.
essentially you have
in
to
my opinion.
fly to LA and then take a boat from LA
Yeah, you
to a
gotta pay to fly
super.
to
Then you
LA.
got to get on a boat to go to the Catalina friggin' wine mixer.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to buy a hotel there's a campsite there, but it's like rarely available, and it's at the opposite end of the town. Mm-hmm. So, but it's just I love that race so much.
Yeah, you were on the cover of Concrete Wave magazine from that race.
From that race, around one of the turns there.
That's super funny.
Yeah, the iPhone photo.
The iPhone photo.
Yeah.
That's super cool that you're on the cover of magazine, but at the same
that
time,
was,
it's like, wow,
Yeah.
you're on the cover of a fucking magazine. Like,
Yeah, right? I know. It's just,
do you have one of
cool.
those magazines?
oh, yeah, definitely. Dude, Catalina holds a very special place in my heart. I have that magazine. I have the poster from the first year when it was like more strictly an invitational race, which felt really cool. The cool factor was,
And how'd you get invited to that race?
Um,
Well, at the time, I was riding for Paris and Riviera, and since they were the
and
ones
5 mile. Yeah.
and they were the ones sponsoring the event, they were like, "Yo,
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dube sent me that invite. So that was fun.
good times, great oldies."
Yeah, exactly.
That would be one.
Dude, one of the few races that you can like skate an incredible road and then go snorkeling. It's fantastic. And then like party with your homies at the bars there. Did you ever go to Catalina? You didn't go there, huh?
no, I never made it.
Bummer, dude.
That was in my broke boy phase.
I know that is not a broke boy race, unfortunately. It's the least accessible race, probably, out of many. I mean, like maybe the European ones are a little less accessible, but
Yeah, it was a good time. Everybody's ever been told me it was a good time. Monkey told me it was a good time. Whatever.
Oh yeah, Monkey I think went there
Multiple times.
Yeah, a few times.
That's right up his that particular event is right up his alley.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, 5 Mile used to rent out like a little condo there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
So another race that you've been to in California that I think is really sweet that not a lot of people got the opportunity to go to.
You talking about Angie's
I'm
Curves?
talking about Angie's Curves.
Oh boy, that was a race and a half, man. The first year was like,
You went to it both years?
I went to the first year, and then I went to another year. I can't remember if it was the second or third year. I think I went to the first and the third.
Okay.
I skipped a year. But the first year, wow. Like that was like the year where Angie's Curves was really pushing the racing like envelope, because that was like the one time where I saw like pro racers like breaking themselves off and like not being able to compete. Like I remember Kevin Reimer was not able to compete because I think he was on like some proto what was he riding? I think These Wheels was like coming up at that point. I think it was like 2013. Don't quote me on that, but I think he was like riding some protos. Oh yeah, there's the cover of Catalina.
Yep.
The most scenic corner like of all the races.
And that's you on the cover of Concrete Wave magazine.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Is it a video that comes with it? Or?
No, this is just an issue.
Okay.
Dude, that's sweet. I've never been on the cover of a magazine. I tried, but I ain't got it like that.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that's a fun corner. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But
dude.
yeah, Angie's Curves, man. Like that's the one time I ever saw Kevin like frustrated and struggling at a race because he like the wheels weren't holding up. Like you literally could not ride one set of wheels more than a run there, because like, do you remember how well Divines would hold up?
Yeah.
The gray Divines, you couldn't ride more than a run on those things down that road.
I like how we're talking about Gray Divines like they're good wheels.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah, at the
they
time.
they were okay.
They were durable.
Yeah, they were durable.
Very
Exactly.
durable. They kept their skin a long time.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that was scary. Like that was like a race where you were at the top, and you know, usually at the top of the road, like people are vibing out, like really having a good time. That road, like people were really quiet, and like the energy was really different at the top of that road.
Because it
first
was
year.
so
Because it
incredibly
was so
gnarly.
extra. And like, you know, that year, dude, I raced the heat where Billy absolutely wrecked himself. I like watched him tumble, and I had to like thread the needle through him and his board as he was like, without, you know, his helmet had broken off. And
yeah.
he was just not in good shape. And I was just like, oh my God.
Can you pull up an Angie's raw run? Do you? Yeah.
I know.
I think there's, oh, no. Even better. You know, Ville had really great GoPro mount race heats from that year. He was in a lot of my heats, actually. If you can pull that video up, that would be ideal.
Okay, what is it?
Oh, shit. Angie's Curves.
Race heats.
Race heats.
Just try
Ville
that.
something. I can't remember his last name. I'm sorry, Ville.
So how fast was Angie's Curves at the fastest point?
Like 65 or something.
What?
But the best line was like it had ripples in it. Oh, yeah. Wait, the first one, I think. Yeah, that's Ville's video. So this is the one.
So at the time,
And Max
gnarly
just absolutely
Oh,
wrecking
that's
it into
Max
the camera.
dude, Max Whipperman was there.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah. No, I think that was the year that
Oh.
I actually went in the van with Bradley Cameron
Okay.
and Max, and like I can't remember who else was in it, but I think we drove. Oh my God, and I left my board at a freaking Charles Jr.
You left your board.
So I was riding a board that Fred from Ronin actually hooked me up with.
crazy. So you go to the gnarliest event you've ever been to
And
in
I
your
don't
entire
have
life.
my board because I left it at a freaking Carl's Jr. in Oregon.
Did you end up getting that board back?
Yeah, I did. They actually
That's-
held it for me, and we picked it up on the way back up.
Look at how much sliding
So
goes
this is
on.
a 21% grade section where you're just like drifting your life away. And then you're just
And at
like
the time-
trying your hardest to hold speed through this corner.
And at the time, wheel technology is not good enough to like
No, it was not.
keep you from I mean, what are people racing on at the moment? Who's that right
That's
there?
Aiden.
It's Aiden Linz.
Yep. I'm not in this heat yet. I'm not sure. Billy was really like, look at him. He's like way far out.
Yeah, Billy was good. Billy is good. I'm sure
Billy
he's still
is
good.
good. He's good at climbing rocks now too.
Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of people get into.
Okay. Here we go.
Are you in
I'm
this one?
heat. I don't know where I'm at. I'm on the left. So it's Billy, Stranger, Vile, and myself. So yeah, that board I'm riding, it was my board, I think. But then Fred from Ronin actually had to hook me up with. He actually hooked me up with the same set of Ronins that I was familiar with on the board that I left at Carl's Jr.
This is
Wow.
gnarly.
Yeah, and then I crashed because I just overwhelmed. I'm just like, I'm confused.
Oh, you
and I
almost
heel
had it.
side.
Oh
the
my
wrong
God.
way. No.
What
not
were you
my price.
thinking?
But
Go
look
back.
at him, and then he. Whoa!
Go back. I want to see Rayne make a terrible
I just
decision.
panicked.
It's easy to.
It's easy to do.
Not my proudest moment.
So like right there, you were like, you should
I
have done a
should have
toe.
drifted. I was trying to grip and heel side, but I saw them doing the toe side, and I just panicked.
You didn't have a game. You like had a
I
game
didn't
plan.
have a game. Not really. Like I said, wasn't the most strategic racer in the game.
Fun, yes. Racing, no.
Exactly.
Because like homie would have crashed. If you would have like stuck that line, you could have advanced, eh?
Well, I mean, watch Billy and what he does. This is the only reason I advance.
Oh, he shit whips himself down
Yeah.
here.
Keep an eye on Billy. So he's regular. So this the fastest corner on the hill, he has the toe side. And
Wow,
you
dude, that
kinda
is
see
so
him.
many hay bales.
yeah, they piled him up. So boom, there he goes. He's rolling. His helmet's off at this point,
That is a.
and we have to like thread the needle between him and his board.
So you get second in this race heat.
Yeah. Just because I survived.
What happened to the dude who crashed right after that? Right.
I just think that was like the worst section to crash in because it's super slow. It's really hard to carry speed through that section. And that's where he crashed.
So you got the.
So I advance. And I think this is the heat quarterfinals at this point.
So you're way out of your depth.
Oh my God. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm just like, I've just watched people wreck themselves.
You're
I'm
like, I just watched
I'm
Billy.
good.
Yeah. Who's this?
That's Duke Deegan.
Oh wow.
He ripped.
Name drop. Dude, the nice thing is he's so far out in front, he can just like take his
Comfy, man.
own.
Oh, but look. Oh, no. I think he hangs on. Yep, he hangs on. Decent exit speed, too.
Oh,
That guy, I don't know who he is. I think he's
AJ Hayby.
no,
Or is that
no,
Jimmy
he's
Rhea?
he's a European dude. I think. I can't remember what the names were at the beginning, honestly.
Such a gnarly road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's intense. And it was so hot. Like wheels would just melt away on this
Were you
pavement.
talking like 100 degrees on the pavement?
Yeah, probably.
Like how hot was it in the air?
It was 90s.
Oh,
mid-90s.
so the pavement was way hotter than that.
Yeah.
And
And
so
so
when
probably
you-
about 90 degrees at least.
So when you say like you're smoking a set of wheels, like those
they're
first,
like melting away.
like
it's
the
like
first three slides are doing a bunch, and then like you slide in
Yeah.
this corner as well.
yeah, and I like you're sliding the same way. So I'm goofy, I'm super heavy on my front right.
Oh,
So I'm just like after this corner, my front right is just coned,
just hammed.
just not good.
and
But
then,
fortunately,
and
the
then
rest
you're
of the
trying to
corners
grip
are
through this.
two lefts.
and then you got to drift for this one,
You can grip this one,
but
but
it's
the one
spooky because your
below-
wheels are tatered at that point.
Yeah, the one below, the last left, is one that you're like, you should probably drift it.
The last left.
Yeah, the one coming up.
Oh,
It's the
man.
one that like people try to grip it and then they just like blow up these exit hay bales right there. Like right there.
Mm.
A lot
I
of
could
people
see
went
it.
into those. Relay stoked.
What a gnarly
Oh,
race.
this is so Chance.
Should we go to finals?
Does he make it to finals?
Chance made it to finals, yeah.
Which one's Chance is going to be the one. That's Scott.
That's Scott and Duke
Wow.
out front.
They probably had been skating this hill a bunch before this race happened.
I bet.
Oh, and then Chance is just going to light guy him so hard.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's comfy.
Speaking of somebody who is like not known about anymore, but like definitely a shredder, Chance Gall.
Yeah. Look at him. Dude, he's like grip slipping through that. Like he's not
Yeah. Oh,
Light guying big time.
Is VA really this far behind?
Yeah.
Any advances?
I don't think he advances after this one.
Oh, sorry, VA.
Yeah. See, he gets the consies.
Okay, still sweet. Yo. God, they're ripping so fast.
Dude,
They're close. Like the worst part is the closer you get, or the deeper you get into the racing, the better people get, and so the more like stacked up the races are.
And like on this track at this time, it was
that
really
was gnarly
scary.
to be around people at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah. Drifting.
Yeah, drifting with the intent of trying to beat them.
Yeah, see them just plow the hay bales.
That's such a crazy right.
Like Billy broke himself off. Matt K broke his arm in that same corner that year. Bad year, man.
Yeah. And so that was the first year you went.
Yeah.
And then what happened the second year you went?
I don't remember very well. Probably.
Did you forget your board at Carl's Jr.?
No, I think I remember.
No,
it at that
Nate,
time.
shut up. Stupid fuck.
Yeah. I don't remember it as well, honestly. The first year was very memorable just because it was like first Angie's curves and it was hectic.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What other races have you been to that you think are super sweet? Like, what events have you been to? Giant's Head?
Yeah, Giants. Head for
Maryhill?
sure.
A lot of Maryhills.
A lot of Maryhill. Like a ton of the events on the like Western North American area.
Mm-hmm.
Like up into the coast, like Danger Bay, Jake's Rash, Britannia, that little trifecta, just because it was
Whistler.
Whistler. Oh yeah, Whistler. I did not like Whistler's track. That
Why?
The pavement was just gross.
If it was
wasn't
perfect,
like
if it was perfectly blacktop paved, I feel like that race would have been really sweet. But it's like kind of a slow grip and rip.
really slow, and it was just like it wasn't fun. Like it wasn't. It was just switchbacks. I didn't like it, honestly. I know a lot of people really liked it. Half the time it was friggin' raining, so it was even slower.
Even though your name's Rayne Daley.
I hate rain skating, dude.
Why?
I just hate it.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
I don't skate in the rain. I'm just wondering what your opinion on it is.
It's just not fun. You can't. I mean, okay, for one, you can't go as fast. For two, you don't have as much traction. Those are the two reasons I'll give you.
Okay. Have you ever skated full runs in the rain?
Full runs in the rain?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But
Okay. And it's just cold and gross. Like, okay, so I'm talking about
My name's Rayne. My haircut
So-
gets all flat when my hair gets wet.
so I'm talking about rain skating because I'm usually in a set of soggy ass leathers and just like not having a good time. Like it's,
No,
and it's a competitive setting. So like recreational rain skating, sure. Like I can get down with that.
Not the hard stuff, the recreational
The
stuff.
recreational stuff.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
That's what I want to make sure of. So let me ask, have you ever skated Maryhill in the rain? And did you go to that Maryhill
I
that was
usually
wet?
sit it out because
Did you go to the Maryhill where it was raining?
the Maryhill when it was raining, it's rained like it'll sprinkle at pretty much every
No.
spring free ride.
Shut your fucking mouth. First off, it rained. It was a fall free ride and it was
Fall free ride and it rained? Dude, maybe not. Maybe
Did
was-
I stutter?
maybe I
Can you
didn't.
hear me
Maybe I
in your
wasn't there.
microphone? Yeah, no, there was a fall free ride and it rained. And this is the fall free ride where there was the incident of somebody spitting on somebody.
Oh, I heard about that. Who was that?
That's another podcast.
Yeah.
So that was the one where it rained and like less. And that was the one where Patrick Switzer was there and Aiden was there and we were having a great time. I accidentally transitioned into my alter ego.
Yeah, right.
And Nathan Blackoutburn attended that event more so than Nate Blackburn did. And I had a really fun time. Broke a couple glass bottles on the road skating down.
That'll happen.
Yeah, ate shit. That was the one where it was raining and like 60 people showed up.
Wow.
It was nobody.
It was raining the whole time.
It was wet. The road was like either wet or patchy the whole time. Like it was patchy a lot, but it was also wet a lot. I would say out of the 25, I would say out of like the 45 runs that we did, because normally you get like 15 runs a day. No, there's 60 people. You can just keep taking laps. There's no one on the hill. This was the time that like they had drove the U-Haul shuttle. So where we had parked, you know how there's two different parking lots at Maryhill? There's the lower one, which I think we go to more now.
Yeah.
Then there's like the upper one. And when the upper one used to be cool and like people used to park towards the top of it because you could like come around the last corner and then foot brake really quick and then stop and you're right next to your car.
Yeah.
They like, that's where we were. That's where like Tiffany, the Rayne RV was and my car was and like a bunch of that. And like, we were like, yo. And the shuttle would like, we would all stop, go to our cars to regroup for the next run. And the shuttle would come into the dirt parking lot and like pick us up.
Yeah,
so
that's
we
like
wouldn't
before it went all the way down to come back.
Yeah, so it would like come into the dirt parking lot and they would bouncy boy out. And then we stopped doing that. And then like, that was the one where it got to a point where like, there's like 60 people. And some people would like be sketching up. And then halfway through, you'd see someone like who was sketching not be on the U-Haul anymore sketching, but they'd have like gotten off at repeater 1 and you'd be like, uh-oh, something suspicious awaits. And so like you'd be bombing down. It's wet. It's slippery. It's like you're kind of drifting and slipping into each corner, probably foot braking. No one's comfortable and everyone's fear laughing. And you come into like repeater 2 and someone has taken all the hay bales off the outside of the corner and like staggered them so that like as you're going through the corner, there's just like landmine hay bales like in the apex and like just off the apex and like, dude, super funny. Like, and it was just awesome. One of my favorite Maryhills. I wish I could remember the event a little better. It was so long ago, but I just remember like having so much fun and just like the super small atmosphere of it being very enjoyable.
That's what made the G rides always so fun. It was like
even though it was the worst time.
Pretty much.
I hate being there in July.
So hot.
But
it was always such a small crew, and it was like way more chill.
It was like 100 people
God,
versus
it's
300
hot,
people.
dude.
Yeah,
But nothing quite compares to like Festival of Speed in the heat, dude. Wearing those friggin' leathers.
Oh,
and just like caked in the Maryhill grime.
yeah. Maryhill's got that
For
super.
5 days.
Maryhill's got that space dust. Like the dirt there isn't like dirty. It's like it's dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
It's
dry.
like baby powder.
The worst kind of baby powder.
The bad kind.
The bad kind. Yeah. I mean, thank goodness the river's there. Like I remember like definitely going down to the river every night and just being like jumping in and being like, there we go.
A little better.
Yeah. I feel so much better after like wiping a pound of dirt off of your body for sure. But that, I would say like fall free rides get super jammed. There was the RVOD free ride, which was super crazy.
Yeah.
The spring
That
free
was
rides.
a good one.
I would love to bring it back to, I mean, once Corona's all done, and we're able to hold events again. I think that the Maryhill G ride's going to be
Needs to happen.
Maryhill free rides are going to happen.
Of course.
I would love to. Maybe I'll just have Dino on the podcast and then spend 2.5 hours beating him up about like, dude, what do we have to do? Like, can we just have the campsite at the bottom? And if you don't stay there, you're not allowed to race or like compete. Like, I just want all the homies to hang out, and that is my dream,
Dude.
I feel like Maryhill could be one of those events. It's super fun to bomb hills with people without having to drift, and it allows a lot of people who are not down. Like, Giant's Head has a huge barrier to entry. You have to skate so well.
And I mean, it depends who you're trying to cater to and make accessible. Like, Maryhill is super accessible. Like, that is what can introduce you to like proper downhill skateboarding.
Yes.
Really. Like, the person that comes to mind is Greg McCaslin. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. You know who I'm talking about, right?
You mean good guy Greg.
Good guy Greg, the most wholesome, wonderful person in the world. Like I remember I met him because Cole Kurtz was like
teaching him how to
giving
slide.
him lessons. Yeah. And
Greg, for people who don't know, Greg is 50 years old, if not older now. Yeah. And he is super stoked, and he's got like a bad back, so he's got to do yoga and like keep himself really fit so that he can do downhill. But he had started skating Slug Wars. He was skating Maryhill. He was doing some fun bombs. He's always in a great mood. He helped us build this current shop in motion, Boardshop.
Always down to help.
He was super helpful. Like, I cannot stress this enough. Like, Greg is, if anyone is messing with Greg, like,
you better watch
like,
out.
You don't
man.
even have to worry about me. Like everybody loves Greg.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so he's the one who like shows up to like a Slug Wars race that we're throwing, and he doesn't even have any intention of competing, but he was like there to like sweep it, and like
Yeah,
he
right.
brings his like leaf blower.
Always in a good mood,
always
good
in a good mood.
spirit.
He's like, "Did you guys need coffee? I brought some coffee." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Greg,
No,
thank you."
the best. Yeah, so I watched that guy
Go from
progress
barely being
from,
able to
like,
skate.
barely being able to like slide his wheels to like being able to pendy, working up to like he got a set of leathers, and then he started skating Maryhill. Which so like Maryhill, it's like the stepping point. It's like a major stepping point in your downhill.
I feel like if you
skills.
can skate down Maryhill with 2 or 3 people near you, you can skate.
Good to go.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can officially skate downhill.
Right.
You know, I don't want that to be. I'm sorry if you don't live nearby, and Maryhill's tough to go to, but it's a very fun road, and it definitely allows. It's a good if you skate down Maryhill, even if no one's around. Like Allison, my wonderful, amazing girlfriend, she skated down Maryhill, and she was like, "Yes, this is. I see why you guys do this."
Yeah. So
Guys
conversely,
and gals. There's a lot of gals.
if I were to organize a skate race, it would be down Thunder Canyon. Because why
2
not?
people show up, and one of them shows up and is just like, "Yeah, I can't skate this."
Right. Thunder. I mean, Nate, I wish we had that video.
Maybe it'll come back. If I find this video, I will.
If anyone out there has that downloaded,
$50 once again for the Thunder Canyon Rayne Daily Raw
and a
Run.
hug, a really big hug,
Yeah,
I will give them the biggest hug.
me too.
yeah.
we'll do a sandwich
Anyway,
hug. You on one side,
It's
me on
one
the-
of the more intimidating roads in Eastern Washington, I guess I could say. Less accessible for sure
yeah,
than Maryhill.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
But just imagine, dude. Like,
could you imagine
I've imagined it.
looking people in the face and just like being like, "Yeah, you guys are going 4 wide."
you guys
Like,
got to rate this.
yeah.
I'm just gonna
Sorry,
watch.
I'm just the event organizer, but we got a drone. Don't crash.
Yeah.
It's an HD. Yeah, no, that's a really exciting road. It's like 55 miles an hour on chip seal with a bunch of really intimidating drifts and some really gnarly grippable corners.
high consequence guardrails.
High consequence guardrails, and it's also at a little bit of altitude, so wind brake or like air braking doesn't work as well.
No, I mean I was trying that and it didn't work very well either.
No, yeah.
I was survival pending a couple times.
Go to Rayne. I think it's like one of those Omen raw runs of you bombing down Mission on that super nice old pavement.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It's
to
not
it.
the most exciting video, but I mean it shows you mission.
Yeah. Yeah, let's skip that then.
Rayne Daily on a mission.
Yeah, get rid of this window.
Rayne Daily on a mission.
It's already open on the other tab thing.
Oh, well, sorry. Isn't this it?
Yeah.
Boom, boom. That's one. Yeah, and this can just be an ode to the one of the most fantastic roads in Eastern Washington that is no longer skatable.
I mean,
Maybe one day it'll be once that chip seal wears down.
it's still skatable. I've skated tuna on the chip seal. Have you ever skated
That's
tuna
a
on the
different
non-chip seal?
road. No, I did not.
I've heard
I
it was
wish.
good.
The first time I skated that was Dubes took me to it.
And did you die?
No, I didn't. And Dubes was like, "Wow, you actually live."
You're alive.
Yeah.
Whoa, no one
I mean,
does that.
I definitely like survival pendied a few times, of course, just to feel it out. But it's a fun road.
I skated it one time kind of terribly. I've been there 4 times, but I've only skated it twice. Because like I definitely like didn't feel myself the
it's
first
hectic.
2 times, and then the last time I went there, I went there with Allison, and I skated it just fine. Like I got a lot better at skating since opening Motion Boardshop. Believe it or not,
Right on.
I don't know why, because I don't skate as much, but now I would say my setup's always dialed now.
Dope. I mean, rightfully so.
It better be. If I'm crashing because my bushings are old, like, oh, bad
You're
luck.
gonna get slapped.
Yeah, this is a sweet run. I can't believe you're doing this on a spawn. You hate that board.
That was a weird board. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was just
very
like
weird.
my awkward phase. I mean, the Phoenix was a pretty fucking weird board too, honestly.
But that thing banged.
I mean, I skated it for entirely too long.
Yeah.
Like I'll skate one setup for like 5 years.
Maybe even 4 long. You went
Yeah.
way. So this is Mission Ridge. Super fun. It's chip sealed now, so it sucks. But like great pavement, high altitude, fun drifts.
Very Colorado-esque road. All the Utah guys came out and skated it, which was like one of the best sessions on this road.
And I heard they were just like banging
They were
down it.
loving it, dude.
They were like, "Yo, this is a
Yeah.
super fun warm up run."
yeah,
Like,
yeah. It was funny. And then we skated Interlaken. They liked Interlaken. We went to Alpental and they were like, "Let's go back to Interlaken." They did not like Alpental
how come?
because Alpental is just like it's really chill, honestly. pretty chill.
Alpental
Compared to Mission, it's pretty chill.
Interlaken's fun because it's the right type of hectic for the speed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm always about that right type of hectic for the speed.
Yeah. Alpental is like pretty chill for the
Where
type.
it's extreme, it's kind of too gnarly to be that fast. And where it's chill, it's a little too chill. Like it's a lot of like bombing right next to your friends.
Yeah.
But how fun would it be if we could close that road down? I'm currently trying my
Alpental?
hardest. Yeah. Yeah.
It would be pretty fun. I mean,
especially
that road would be.
Is there a campsite at the bottom of the hill that you could book
I
out?
think there might be.
I've thought about this. There's a river.
And I think there might be a highway you can shuttle around and just get continuous downhill.
Buddy, believe me when I say this.
Ooh, the sketties. Just straight line down this.
Oh my, yeah, dude, you can chop so much of this road off when you skate it.
Yeah.
This is one of the parts where you're going like 60 miles an hour, which is cool.
Yeah, you can go really fast in this corner. I was being pretty conservative with this lower right-hand turn.
This is also like, you've been skating at this point for like probably 7 hours. This is that 26. This is the 26
day that we started with Naham.
Yeah.
And I burned my legs out immediately at 9 a.m.
Yeah. You've been up since 5. And then we're also skating this run.
And this was covered in pine needles. You can't see it very well, but you can kind of see it.
Yeah, there's pine needles on the outside.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be careful.
What a great road, though. So much downhill.
God, it's so good.
I don't want to say it, but I found a couple roads recently that are kind of like this. Maybe a little bit more turny.
Really?
But yeah, been doing a little. Your boy's been
A little
busy.
Google Maps in.
A little driving around.
Yeah.
Disc golf courses are crazy. So, dude, you can go so fast on this road.
Oh, and then the bottom section, the 60 mile an hour, that feels like 40 miles an hour. Glassy, smooth, just super comfortable 60 miles an hour. You can really book it through this section. And it gets uncomfortable.
This is where a couple people have crashed.
Dude, Cam Owen has gone into that guardrail and was just slammed into it, got up and was like, I'm chill.
Everything's
Cam Owen's
fine.
a brick.
Yeah.
Crazy legs.
Crazy legs. Yeah. If you ever hear this,
Yeah.
your name's Crazy Legs, Cam. Sorry about that.
I think he's probably best known for that video of him crashing at Catalina. Where he just bodies himself into the ramp and looks like he broke his neck.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Gosh, this road just is relentless. You're going so fast it's all above 40.
Oh yeah, easily. I mean,
and you're just
it goes,
gripping turns.
and it actually accelerates quicker than you'd think. Driving up the road, it's one of those roads that doesn't look very steep, but it carries speed so well.
I've driven up it a bunch.
Yeah.
There's no this. I think I'm going to say this because of how fast this road is. I think if this gets 2 to 3 years of chip seal, it could be fun again. It'd be a leg burner, but
I believe it.
It could be fun again.
The drifting might be a little different, but
Yeah.
once the chip seal wears down, I'm sure it'll be plenty skatable again.
We'll probably do it and convince
then the lower
ourselves.
section, it still has pretty decent pavement. That road though,
That's a great road to die on.
yeah, it truly is.
Those neighbors did not.
Ooh, the neighbors did not like us. That's for sure.
Yeah, that would be a good. I've thought about going back there. I know 2 of the people that live on that road, and I kind of brought it up because the Mission Ridge is where we do
race course though.
Yeah, we go up and talk to them from time to time because Mission Ridge Demo Days is also up here. This is where we go snowboarding and test all of our gear in the winter. So this access road is so I talked to some of the people that live up at the top because there's a couple ski reps that own houses there. And I'm blah, 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 blah. And they're just you skated down this? I was like, yeah. And they're just
Oh boy.
So
Yeah.
first off, wow.
Yeah.
And this is the part that doesn't.
Is a quick section that's just very comfortable.
The pavement's so smooth.
So smooth. It literally feels like maybe 40 miles an hour.
It doesn't feel that
because it's
fast.
really open and smooth. So it's just your board doesn't feel
like it's
just
moving
so
around.
Yeah. And I mean, it's the best when you're with people and you can just
yeah, the draft gets
giraffe
huge
training each
here.
other.
You can
Yeah.
catch that shit from
Big
100 feet away.
big old
There's
giraffe.
3 people in front of you, and you're just I'm getting sucked in.
Oh yeah.
The tractor beam has us, Captain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but this is as crazy as you wouldn't think it is. This is 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's
like
quick.
he's doing 25 miles an hour above the speed limit for sure. And like you can, I think, yeah, and then you can see it starts raining because we were trying to get this run done hella fast because it started to rain, and then the fly dies on the. Yep. Super sick.
Yeah, this was my intro video to Omen, huh?
Kind of I mean, considering now what downhill runs are, it's kind of a whack video. You know, it's a really good video that showcases how decent you are. It's already open. Is that Rayne Daley scoliosis route run?
Ooh, I was just there a couple days ago.
That was a hectic road, dude. That road is
Can
ridiculous.
Can you believe I got you to skate that? Like, yo, you should push it on this. Like, I'm gonna film it.
Yeah.
My Subaru got
I
new
had a good
brakes like
time.
5
I
months
ate
ago.
Mad shit. How many times? Like so many times before I actually made it down that road.
How did that day go when we were doing this? Like, did I like make you skate it until you got it?
I mean, it was the first day there, and then we just like kept filming it until. The thing is, I was like trying to be all cool and not grab rail, but like deep down in my heart, I know I gotta grab rail when I'm sliding. So
Especially there.
I had to stop trying to look cool and just like get it done. And I once I started grabbing rail, it was business time.
Sierra Nevada, you've done it again.
Oh shoot!
Yeah. Hand me that percussion caliber hanger.
You want the DB7?
No, it's not expensive enough for. Oh yeah. Once again,
gotta crack one for this run.
Plus, press play, fingers. Boop, boop. Okay, so in case any road that starts off with like a gnarly truck, beware, there's hills. Good sign.
Yeah.
Spencer Smith saw this route run and was like, you don't need to slide there. And I looked at him and it was in this, I want to say it was either in this store.
Smith from
Corpo. From Rayne.
Corpo. I love how we called him that.
Yeah.
First guy to get sponsored in our scene, and we're just like, Corpo, sell out.
Exactly. Fuck. So much sliding on such new wheels.
Yeah, and still barely making it. God,
That's such a good drift.
Steep.
Play it again.
Ugh.
Play it again.
It's so quick.
Oh. Same haircut.
Yep.
Boom, tall boy. That's actually the best part about this is that's before the run. He was like, I think I got it this time. I was like, drink a beer.
Nobody realizes how steep this run actually is.
No video does it justice.
No.
Like the only time that you can really understand is the shots where like someone's standing on the road stationarily and you can see how steep it is.
Like just keep in mind he's on very fresh 73 millimeter, 65 millimeter wide wheels. And look how long this slide is. And he's like still hauling ass. And then it's immediately into another big boy
You
slide.
don't slow down.
And then another huge slide hooked up. Another big slide. Like
I remember the time that we tried to hold, I think Nate Brax tried to hold an Outlaw on this and was immediately busted. Like before it even started.
Yeah.
Dude, how sweet would that have been though?
Would have been really fun. Like some two-man.
I've always thought about getting that closed down and doing a free ride there.
Like
Like a slide jam hill.
Yeah. It'd be really easy to close that road, I bet.
The Sudden Valley dude came up and talked to me when I was there. And he's just like, oh, well, as long as you're not, messing with anybody's property, I can't tell you to leave. Go ahead. Because some lady was like getting all pissed.
Get it?
Maybe, I mean, well, I don't know if you've heard. Have you know about the Platinum Formula? So I've been talking to a couple of the key players from the original Platinum Formula video. Sam and Devin are in to refilm because we got more Platinum Formula wheels coming in. Gonna get the band back together. Get Sam and Devin and Jackson. Said he was
Jackson, huh?
And Jackson, and then Ben Bartlett, the 4-pack, and get them to
the crew
film it, but then take them immediately to scoliosis and be like, I expect
good luck, guys.
I expect greatness. Yeah. I wonder if they've still got it. I know that like Sam is probably so good.
Dude, I bet.
Jackson could probably make it happen. I know that Ben still rips.
Yeah.
Even though this is gonna sound crazy, even though Devin like doesn't downhill, I feel like Devin's gonna be the best.
Because he like never has to try. Like he's just naturally, he rips, dude. I mean, look at him snowboard. He can shred.
He's okay. He doesn't have the backflip.
I mean,
so
compared to me, come on.
I mean,
like he can hang. Like
No, Devin's a phenomenal snowboarder, and
Yeah.
he's going to be bummed if I. He's got a great method. His method is the biggest of gills. He could
The thing
breathe
about
above water.
Devin is that he can just like, he can hang. Like he's not, I love the dude, but Devin, you're not spectacular at any discipline, I would say. Like at least in downhill.
You're only judging him in downhill. In downhill,
because that's my
he's not the fastest downhiller, but he can hang.
yeah, he can hang. Exactly.
He's
that's
a
what I'm
really good
saying.
free rider. He's a really good snowboarder. He can hang
all
at the
around,
skate park.
he can hang.
He's
Yeah, exactly.
always good.
He
He's
actually
pretty good on
rips
the
in the skate park.
He's
there.
pretty good on the disc golf course too.
Right.
I refuse to let him. Like I'm playing 5
Whatever
days
he
a
does,
week
he
right
can-
now to make
RC
sure he
cars,
won't beat me.
He can hang.
The RC cars is more of a throwing money at a wall thing, but yeah, he's also really good at RC cars. I don't know if you've been to. So there's a disc golf course, and right across the street from it is a skate park, as well as that RC track.
Right. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, I've been there. I really don't like that skate park though. It's
Well-
like one that feels like it gets maxed out really easy with like 3 people.
There's like 5 people, and
Yeah,
you're
and
immediately
you're like,
just
oh,
like, oh well, I guess
shit.
I'm waiting till
Exactly.
this guy does his 12th rock to fakie.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, very relatable content.
Mm-hmm.
So, Angie's curbs we've talked about.
Yes.
Catalina we've talked about. Maryhill we've talked about.
I think one that doesn't get talked about enough is Paskapoo. You know what I'm talking about? Windsport Canada, the race that brought down the IGSA.
Don't speak the old magic to me.
Yeah,
I was
right.
there when it was written.
Yeah. Okay, but Paskapoo, before it was Windsport. Paskapoo.
Yep. And why did it bring down the IGSA?
Well, let me talk about Paskapoo first. All right.
Tell me more.
Yes. So that was when you were talking about how you ideally want like Maryhill to be again, where you like have a great course to skate with your homies. You got a campsite. You got
It's
music.
about the campsite. It's about the
Let me
campsite.
tell you
I
about
cannot stress that.
Paskapoo. I can't name the organizers. I wish I could, but shout outs to them because Paskapoo, you got a pretty awesome skate course for the time. You got meals made for you for the racers. The racers got little tickets. You got live music every night. You had a campsite that was like surrounded by the bobsled track. So it was like a nice little pristine grass field surrounded by a bobsled track that you could camp in. And you had a chairlift to the top of the run. So no shuttling. You just continuous chairlifts and go down.
Have you ever been to Skate Sun Peaks?
No, I have not. I actually have not. I mean, I really should. I know a lot about it. I've heard
It's
all
the
about
lamest
Sun-
event.
But
You're-
it has a chairlift.
It has a platter lift. It's got a magic carpet. So
Oh,
you
really?
stand there and it just lugs your fat ass up the hill. And the best part is you can see the entire road from any given point on that lift. And it's the most difficult skating you've ever done. Like we were talking earlier about like, dude, do you think you could go stand up down Slug Wars? And you were like, oh, it'd be tough. I have never made it stand up through Sun Peaks. It is relentless. There are like 17 corners and you have to drift for every one of those 17.
That one's not too far. Is it in the same like realm as Whistler, or is it pretty far off?
It's like 6 hours away from your 5